episode today of All Things 3D. Today is January 8th, 2015. I'm your co-host, Chris, and we've got our co-host, Mike. He is on the floor of CES. He's walking around. Say hi, Mike.
Hi. Can you hear me out
he's
there?
Walking around. Yeah, this is a showstopper, or I should say just a CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Goes on once a year in Las Vegas. And it's kind of where all of the electronics companies go and unveil their latest gadgets. So if you don't already know about it, CES is definitely one of the shows that you definitely don't want to miss, at least the news from. And there's, we got Mike. He flew out there yesterday, and he is walking around right now, and he's streaming live to the Google Hangout. And tell us what you're seeing, Mike.
Well, can you hear me pretty good? I apologize. For some reason, I've got some technical glitches with my mic. However, I am recording this to video, so we can always upload that later. So right now, I'm in the printer area of CES. They actually set up their own little area now. As you can see in front of me, I've got Fuel 3D. There you go, 3D printing presented by TCT. I think they just had a seminar. I'm going to turn in this direction and we'll kind of walk down here. We've got some filament providers, and we've got some of the people that we've interviewed over the time that we're going to go through. Some of the people are brand new, and you know, because our video, you can hear me okay, Chris? Nod your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I'll try and talk a little closer to the mic so that people can hear me. But essentially, I'm going to walk through right now, so give you kind of a little walk through, and then we'll stop by and maybe talk to some people on the way. I kind of introduced myself yesterday, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. So Chris,
we saw the people.
I don't know how good the video is. If you want me to stop and just kind of pan, just let me know. But right now I'm just going to kind of do
go ahead and give us a little look around. What are you seeing? Just tell us, you know,
okay.
Find us something fun.
So
you know,
I'm going to stop right here, kind of like in the middle of it. Off to the right here is 3DP Unlimited.
Yeah, I
look
read
at that.
About this.
Look at that large thing there, huh? Can you see it?
Yeah. They had a print. They had a print that was like $600 in material.
Look at that,
like
huh?
That. And
pretty awesome,
yeah,
huh?
Wow, look at that snowflake. Look at the size of that thing.
It's huge. So obviously the print bed is not very high, but obviously the XY is extremely large on that thing. So it appears that it is running an extrusion of some sort, but pretty neat. I want one of those. I guess I'll have to pick up a card. Here. I'll grab a card, and then I'll take it with you. Go ahead, Chris.
The gantry will raise up.
Oh, the gantry will raise up? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that whole gantry raises up, and so it actually does have, I think, the largest print volume of any of the RepRap style printers.
Wow.
Well, with the exception of our friend John Ollie's Delta printer.
Well, that's pretty neat. So like I said, I'll just kind of spin around counterclockwise now, and we'll look at over at Kudo 3D. I kind of talked to him yesterday.
Hi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
My mic's not working, so you'd have to get a little closer. So who am I speaking to? Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas.
Yes. Hi, nice to meet you.
So we're on All Things 3D. We're live right now, and so my co-host on the other end. Say hi. So you make the Titan 1, and we actually stopped by in. So you remember them, Chris? Remember we interviewed them?
Yeah.
So there they are. They've got two different style of covers there.
I think we met them at the San Jose.
That's actually Ted Sayo, the
Ted?
CEO.
Yeah,
And
Ted.
he's setting up the printer right now.
Okay, tell him to turn around and say, "Hey, Ted, it's Mike from All Things 3D."
Hi.
I got Chris on the other end here. We're live, so say.
We're live.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
So we thought we'd stop by, and yeah, we're catching everybody off guard here. So we're kind of walking through right now, so I may come back a little bit later. Right now I'm only feeding through this mic. I've got a technical glitch. I don't know, I've got audio through it, but I don't have my shotgun working. So maybe I'll have that up and running a little bit later. So anything you want to mention about the Titan right now? I mean, it looks finished.
Oh yeah, yes. We just finished our Kickstarter delivery, and we're starting delivering our first batch of pre-orders. That's about like 350 units overall, and the Titan one is, let me briefly introduce. This is the more advanced technology based on passive self-peeling, and that differentiate us from our other SLA companies. So the most important thing in the SLA technology is how we separate the layers created. And for all 3D models, they are formed by layers, and those layers actually will stick at the bottom of our resin container for all the SLA button-up type. And it's very important to ensure a proper separation between the layer and the container. So we developed this flexible resin container to actually minimize the separation force.
Yeah. We talked about that in our interviews.
Yes.
So we don't have a lot of time. I want to move through. So Chris, do you have any questions for Ted?
Yeah. So are you shipping units?
Okay, I kind of froze on the video here, so hopefully we'll come back. Am I still moving on your end?
Yes. Are you shipping units?
Are you shipping units?
Yes, we're shipping.
We just completed 350 units shipped as of last month.
Oh,
Great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's good.
So, so you have Kickstarter backers, right? This was a Kickstarter project?
This was a Kickstarter project, right?
Yes, we completed our Kickstarter with about 350 units. We made just under $700,000.
Great.
So, and you've got, and so all your
like
backers
to see an
have
example?
been, or you
He's
still
showing
have
me
some
an
to go?
example here. I've lost my eyes here. Can you see it, Chris?
Yeah.
Great. So, even though I can't see you guys, at least we're still operating on your end, so that's good. So what was your question, Chris? And I'll relay it to him, and then we'll move on.
So you've only got a few more Kickstarter backers to go, huh?
Okay. Chris just asked, say that again, Chris?
So they've almost fulfilled all their Kickstarter.
So you've almost fulfilled all of your Kickstarters then?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So he wants to mention something about the Batman bust here. Go ahead.
This is a very low resolution print, and you can see how smooth it is compared to other models, and that's because of our technology.
Okay. So did you hear that, Chris?
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome, and look at this thing here.
This is actually impossible for some of our other competitors to print.
So if I wanted to get one today, what would it cost me? Ted?
Hand down a little bit, Mike.
The price.
Check that.
Cost for
okay, hang on. He wants to take that. Can you see it now, Chris?
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's excellent. Great detail there.
Yeah, but due to the very, very tight detail on that, only our self-peeling PSP container can actually get this kind of resolution on this kind of model.
Sounds great. So Ted, again, what's it going to...
Ask him if the container.
Oh,
ask him if the containers, we can buy the
3,000.
containers.
Here, I'll ask him in a minute. What's the cost again?
The cost below 3,000.
It'll be below 3,000.
Yes.
Okay. And so your question again, Chris?
Can we build that now? We've already got an SLA.
Can we build... I'm sorry, say that again?
Can we buy the actual build vats from you?
Can we buy the build bats from you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if we've already got an SLA printer, we can buy the build...
You want to buy the container?
Yes.
Oh, you can buy the container, but you need to maybe modify the structure in order to be compatible, like the size. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk later about that.
Yes.
Okay, so is that it, Chris? Can we move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go over to, your favorite. This is MarkForged. I gave him a card the other day.
Is a wing foot for a race car, and it's a nylon part that has 6 layers, 6 200 micron layers of carbon fiber, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. And what that gets you is incredible stiffness and strength.
Awesome.
What we have here is a space wrench that is Kevlar reinforced, and we're doing a sort of a sandwich panel construction. and that gets you incredible stiffness and incredible strength.
Sounds great, Jeff.
Wow.
Okay.
So so
Give you a
and
little
what
bit closer view.
Okay.
using
What we have here
SolidWorks
is a cutaway of this part to show you that we first lay down some plastic, some nylon, which is a really great, tough engineering plastic. Then we put down a continuous strand. It's probably hard to tell, but this is one continuous strand that runs concentrically around the part. And then we do a honeycomb structure, another few layers of continuous strand, and you get, the final part you get is about 10% higher strength of weight than 6061 aluminum. So for the first time, you can print at your desk totally functional parts with the strength of metal.
Sounds great, Jeff.
Wow.
So Chris, do you have any questions?
Yeah, and so I noticed what lately yesterday actually I was playing in the new 2015 SolidWorks.
So he's playing with
and-
the 2015 SolidWorks, so he's got a question for you. So I
Okay.
apologize that you can hear it. So go ahead, Chris.
It allows multi-material AMF files. Is that so is that the same file that you need to generate multi-material models?
So he said that SolidWorks generates a new multi-material, was it AFM file?
AMF file.
AMF file. Will this thing support that?
Not quite yet. We actually launched the Mark I at SolidWorks World in January of 2014. So we're definitely pretty close with SolidWorks. And we hope to create some additional file types and additional add-ons that would support the 3D printer. But for now, like most other 3D printers, we import STL files.
Okay. So you got all that, Chris?
Yeah, great. So
Great.
so coming soon.
Coming soon, right?
The printer is available right now.
for SolidWorks, the driver.
Sorry?
For SolidWorks, the driver?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again, Jeff. I appreciate your time, and thank you for our patience. Let me get that there. Okay. All right, we're going to move on, Chris, and it looks like we've got great sound now, and we've got great connectivity, so where would you like me to head? I'm just going to go down here.
Just keep fishing on through. Weaving on through. If you see something that stands out.
So New Matter wants to talk with us, so I will give her the mic. Hi.
Awesome.
Actually, we're going to hand this to somebody else.
Okay.
We're going to hand this to Steve.
All right, great.
Although I loved being on
Wow.
camera. I know there's someone back there.
Okay. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Okay. My co-host Chris is in the office, and so you won't be able to see him unless you turn around and see his little face here.
All right.
But he may have some questions for you, so why don't you just kind of tell us what you're about, and we'll go from there.
All right, terrific. Well, New Matter makes consumer 3D printers. They're called the Mod T. The Mod T is designed to be a really easy to use and very affordable consumer level 3D printer. It's going to retail later this year for less than $400. It's designed by world-renowned design for Frog, so it really looks like something that belongs in your home as well.
Wow. Let's see. So it's right over there, right?
Yeah, so I'll take you on a walk.
Okay.
This is New Matter. This is the booth. We've got a couple of demo units. One of them's printing as we speak. One of the really unique things about the Mod T is the way we move the build platform instead of the print head. This two-axis motion system is actually patent pending and allows us to provide those two axes of motion with a very small number of components, reducing the cost to manufacture the product and allowing us to sell it at a very competitive price.
Very cool. Chris, you got any questions?
Yeah, and so what kind of materials will it print?
So what kind of materials can you print with it?
I'm sorry?
What kind of materials can you print with it?
This unit is PLA only. As we're designing for use in the home, we wanted to make it consumer friendly and avoid some of the odors that come off of ABS or some of the other materials.
Okay. There's a company, what's the name of it? Polymaker that makes a Polymex. Have you tried it with this yet?
No, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
I apologize. There's a company, Polymaker, that makes a Polymax, which is a very rigid, actually they say it has better strength than ABS.
Okay.
And I've been printing with it, and I'd have to agree, but it's PLA based.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit higher in temperature, like 220. Will this be able to use it?
You know, I'm actually not familiar with that material, so I'll go back and do some research and we'll find out.
Okay. Yeah, I would look into it because it's an excellent material, and it'd be great if it would work with it.
Oh, I'll try it out.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay, Chris, any other questions?
No, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, hey, here's your friends, and actually there's a guy here. There he is. Hi, we're back, Fred. Fred, you got a moment? Hi, it's Mike. Okay, can you, all right. So actually I know Fred, he used to work over at either 3D Systems or Stratasys, and he's moved over to Mcor and likes it. But they have a small booth here, and I'm supposed to speak to Julie. There's Julie. Let's see if I can actually, let's see if we can get in there. But while we're there, Chris, you want to talk a little bit about the Mcor?
Yeah, so the Mcor is our, I think a really great technology. It's that it's a basically an LOM printer, but it can print the Iris, which is their
What's an LOM printer?
It's an LOM. They don't call it LOM. They don't want you to call it LOM because they want to call it their own proprietary technology. It doesn't actually use a laser, so it uses a blade. So that's the difference between LOM and their technology. But at the end of the day, it prints It uses cut pieces of paper as your material. So you actually use a ream of paper. And their Iris, the top tier machine, allows you to print double-sided color around the edges, the perimeter of your
Hi, Julie. Fred brought me over here. You want to give us a little bit of a presentation? Hey, we've got our attention. So, Chris, we were actually big fans of the Mcor. We've seen it about a year ago in, let's see, where were we at? San Jose. And we've actually talked to the dealer out in California. But maybe you can give us a little bit of overview for our audience. We're from All Things 3D.
Yes.
And like I said, I know Fred when he was working, at Stratasys before?
Okay.
And so he told me to come in here and talk with you. So I'll let you talk.
Sure.
I'll stop talking.
So we're with Mcor Technologies, and Mcor manufactures the world's only paper-based 3D printer. And what that means is we use ordinary copy paper, the kind that you have in your office supply closet, water-based ink and water-based adhesive to produce very realistic, full-color models.
Hey,
Such as
Julie, could I have you talk more into the
Yep.
okay, great, thank you.
Do you want me to repeat?
No, go ahead. We still.
Such as this hammer. This is 3D printed out of ordinary copy paper. It actually can hammer a nail. It's very strong, and the benefit of it is that it's very eco-friendly. It only costs about $10 to print, so it's about 1/8 of the cost of any other technologies, and it is full realistic color.
Sure is. Great.
There's a
Chris,
bust of me down there. Do you want me to pick it up?
Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah. Oh, how cute.
So you can see here, I was scanned. This is me. And it's printed me to scale size down here in full realistic color. This wasn't painted, and you can see the likeness is pretty close.
It is. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been desiring, and one of the things is that the pricing on this, if I remember correctly, is close to $50,000 or $60,000 with consumers and the service agreement. Is that correct?
Sure. So this is a professional class 3D printer. So this printer in the U.S. does cost about $50,000, but the ongoing cost to print, again, is a fraction of the cost of any other technology, and it's very suitable for service bureaus to provide prints to consumers and professionals across all different verticals, education and architects and manufacturers for concept modeling, so a variety of different applications.
So is there a service bureau in California? I mean,
Sorry?
Is there a service bureau in California?
Yes, so we've just hired a new dealer in California, and they could very well offer 3D printing as a service as well.
Okay, do you know who that dealer is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who that dealer is?
No, I don't know their name, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, well, we'll get back later with it. All right, well, thank you. And,
Thank you very much.
And we'll move on. Chris, do you have any questions before I move on?
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to... Yes, please. So give me a moment, Chris. Excellent, thank you. Okay, am I blowing out the mic or am I okay?
You're all right.
Okay, actually I'll bring it down a little because they're asking me to speak up a little bit. So we'll go from there. Hey, let's take a look at the Da Vincis. We've talked about them a lot, and because they're low cost, but we've heard some, well, you know what we've heard, Chris. But they seem like they've got a few new line of printers.
Yeah, and they have, and I just read today that If you go on Newegg, they have one for $399. Get the XYZ DaVinci.
So is it probably the 1.0? Here they have the retail price of $499, but I have seen it on Amazon for $399 as well. So it's probably this one. They also have the 2, which is a Duo, which is the Duo filament for $649, and again on Amazon you can get it cheap in that. So these are very low cost printers, but one of the things that a lot of people have complained about with these is that their slicer leaves a little bit to be desired. However, if you buy Simplified 3D, it works with these, so there is good slicers out there if that's an issue.
Right.
So let's see if we can actually get somebody to talk to. Hi, anybody want to talk to All Things 3D and kind of give us a rundown? Hi, we're from All Things 3D, and we've talked about your printer several times on our podcast. I've got Chris, my co-host, on the other end of this. Could you kind of give us a rundown and take my mic for me?
That's the one we start from the 1.0. Hi, we're here in XYZ's booth today. This is our first DaVinci 1.0, priced at $499, with a build bed of 8x8x8. It is a fully enclosed system with safety design, suitable for beginners and children use. Over here is our DaVinci 2.0 with the same features, but 2 color extruders enable you to create more creativities on your products. And here is our newest DaVinci 1.0, which features Wi-Fi connectivity and built-in camera to ensure the finest print job.
Okay, and we've heard of the other 2. So as you said, it's got Wi-Fi. I noticed it's also got a colored display. Does this also have the newer processor in it? So if you loaded it up from Wi-Fi, it loads quickly. Some of the problem with the older versions is that if you use the USB, it takes a little while.
Right, right.
So the performance on this one is better from the processor standpoint?
Definitely.
Okay. Do you have some prints that we could take a look at from this one?
Right, definitely. Whoops. Okay.
And
with the built-in Wi-Fi feature, the printer is able to produce faster prints and more accurate prints on time.
Okay, so what's its maximum or maximum resolution?
Oh, it's the DaVinci 1.0s and 2.0 features resolution in 100 micron to 400 microns.
Okay,
from
pretty standard.
0.1 millimeters to 0.4 millimeters.
Okay. Chris, do you have any questions?
Yeah, and again, the materials.
What type of materials can be used with it?
The DaVinci series can print in ABS and PLA plastics, and XYZ is also going to introduce flexible wood and refillable filaments.
Okay, great. So that's about it, huh, Chris?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Right. Do you also want to do our new ones?
I would, please.
Right, great.
Okay. Can you do them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. Oops. He's going to show us our new line.
Have you guys done the AIO before?
No.
Yeah, maybe we can just go around.
Okay.
Have for everything.
Okay. So what is this line here?
Oops. Over here is XYZ's DaVinci 1.0 AIO with a 3D scanner and 3D printer all in one. We're the first one to make 3D printers and 3D scanner all together. It's a very revolutionary printer. The printer also offers 8x8x8 build size with this 2 laser scanner, one on the bottom and one on the top, to ensure the best scanning quality and to eliminate all of the blind spots.
Okay. And if somebody went out to your website, could they download one of your scans to look at later on to check its quality?
Sorry, what is it?
Could they download the scan on your website to check the quality?
What do you mean download?
Well, when you scan, you have a mesh file.
Right.
Can I download a mesh file of this particular scanner?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
From the printer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But do you have one on your website so I could take a look at its quality?
The website, you mean download the scanned file? So it was a DPS file?
Yes.
Yeah, you can download that.
Okay, great.
Right. And it's from our software.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. So what do you have on the other end? It looks, you have some SLAs that you're going to be putting out as well?
Oh yes, we also have SLA.
Okay, you want to go ahead and look at those?
Let's do that.
Now again, everyone, these particular printers are on
also the junior.
Oh, okay,
That's
the junior.
The new DaVinci.
Oh, $349. So that probably means it's going to be
this
300
is our,
or 250.
DaVinci Junior.
Okay.
It has the smaller build size, more suitable for classroom and beginner use. At the price of $349, it is the best volume in the industry right now. It also features a fully enclosed system for safety issues. It also have 2 unique features. First one is its automatic calibration system bed. With this, beginners and children will never have to manually calibrate their print bed before every print. The second feature is this one button removal extruder. With this feature, user is able to replace and repair the most broken parts of a 3D printer, which is the extruder.
Okay, well, not to compare it to the MakerBot. The MakerBot has come out with something similar, but that's been the worst problem with theirs is the removable print head. It doesn't say secure. Do you have that problem, or do you think that might be a potential problem, or if you feel that you've got it?
On the extruders?
Yes.
But you're saying that it doesn't stay secure?
Right, on the MakerBots.
And they also have the same system.
So are you having problems with yours, or do you feel like you've solved that engineering problem?
We currently haven't gotten any complaints, but that's also due to they have not been officially released. Okay. But from our engineering, this has shown no problem from falling off.
Okay. Do you mind if I touch it?
Yes, please.
Okay, how does it secure? Is it magnet-based, or is there a clip-on?
There's actually a clip right here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
it looks like a 2-point secure system. Yeah. It seems fairly secure.
Right.
Okay. Chris, you got any questions for him?
No, this all looks great.
Okay, so let's go ahead and head down. Oh wait, I want one of those. You see that, Chris? The little robo head. 9. That's that's actually pretty good. That's neat.
Yeah, that's our service robots.
And you sell that, right?
Yes, we.
So it's $1,000 or $999.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And it does automatic GPS navigation and video conference, as well as product explanation for stores.
Pretty cool. Okay, well, that's not what we're here for. So this is your new, this is your 3D
this is
food
our food
printer. Boy, you just got a full lineup of printers. Okay. So what kind of food does it print?
Actually, the one that prints the more advanced ones over there.
Okay.
Maybe we can cover that after the Nobel.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep going. So
quite a big booth they have.
Yes, they have a very large booth, and obviously because they've got a large number of printers. Okay, so this is their new SLA printer.
Oh, no worries. It's okay. We wait for them to.
Let's go ahead and talk about it. We're close enough.
Well, not only does XYZ satisfy the needs for consumer and beginner in 3D printing, we are also now introducing our newest SLA technology, Nobel 1.0 printer. The Nobel 1.0 uses resin and laser technology to print the finest and professional prints that customers require.
Wow, pretty neat.
The printing resolution is 35 microns. It can print from 0.035 millimeters.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get a little closer look.
Right.
It looks a lot like the inside of a Form 1. Was that intentional? I noticed that the build tray is very similar, as well as the actual the bed itself. So you said 35. So this is the quality. May I touch it?
Yes, of course, please.
Can you see that, Chris?
Yeah, it looks like pretty good quality.
Pretty good. There's a little bit of ridging in there, about the same as a Form 1. Maybe it's just that material there. Let's look at the rook. They printed a larger rook.
How are you doing, sir?
So what's the volume size on this?
The volume size, some decimals. It's 5 by 5 by 7.9.
Okay, so it's very similar to a foreign
right.
one. Okay.
But at the price of $14.99, it is
half
the most
the price.
volume. Right.
Okay.
The best volume you can find in the industry right now.
Okay. Pretty good. So are these both Nobel ones?
Right.
Okay.
This one just without the cover.
Okay. Well, that's pretty nifty, huh? And that's extremely good price there.
Right.
Okay, Chris, well, I'm going to move on to somebody else. So again, thank you for taking us on this tour.
Yeah.
And any other questions for you?
Food printer as well?
Yeah, it's right over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So they also have a food printer, Chris.
Wow.
This is XYZ's newest 3D food printer. Besides implementing 3D printing in plastic, XYZ has now bring 3D printing to food. The 3D printer is able to take 3 different materials and dispense them. You can make food from cookies, cake, to
And do you have a
pizzas.
sample there that I can take a look at?
Right, so of course. Let me take a sample for you.
Okay.
Here, go and take a sample.
Well, if you can take a look real quick, I'll bring the camera in.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute. Look at the little brontosaurus cookies there. and look at some cakes. Where they look like they have some extrusion for decorating cakes. Look, there's a piece of toast there. Oh, here we go. Oh, I get a cookie.
There's some samples that
Excellent.
anyone can try if you're there.
Okay, well, I'll bring it with me. And
Right, and we
can I have
promise
that
it
one
is
too?
edible.
And I'll bring one to my co-host. So,
Right.
Chris, I don't know what they're made out of, but maybe you'll at least taste it, right, Chris?
They're cookies.
So what is it going to cost?
The cost will be below $2,000, but we have not officially set the price.
2,000, Chris.
Right.
2,000.
We plan to release them in Q3 this year.
That's wow. Well, you guys have an extremely large and excellent booth here, and I really appreciate your time, Frank. And we'll probably ask for an interview later on. So you got a card or something?
I passed out all my cards yesterday, but I can.
I'll tell you what. How about I give you my card?
Oh, great. I can also give you my director's card with my name on it.
Okay. Okay. I'll give you my. Okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
Great.
My name is Frank.
All right.
That's my email too.
Okay. Thank you, Frank.
Great.
Let me put that in there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was an excellent booth, huh? Hey, look what we got over here. We've got Autodesk.
Oh, yeah.
I think, let me see if Jesse is here. Yeah, actually, Jesse's standing right over there. Hey, Jesse. It's Mike Balzer from All Things 3D.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Got Chris on the other end here. You got a moment to talk?
Of course.
Okay, here's a mic for you.
Thank you.
Bring it up close to your mouth. So, Jesse, we've talked a lot on our podcast, and now I'm seeing you in person, and it looks like Autodesk has a pretty good presence here at CES. So can you talk a little bit? And then maybe we can sneak over and look at the Ember, too. So go ahead.
Yeah, so what we're doing at CES is we're really trying to up-level what 3D printing means. You know, as we walk around this hall, you see a lot of great-looking plastic tchotchkes that you can sit around your house, and those are fantastic. But what we're looking at is, how do we take it to the next level, and how do we help design build that out? So all the things in our booth, from a great dress made by Nervous Systems to this 3D printed titanium bicycle that's sitting here in front of me, that's like full of haptic technology. You know, that's all about kind of upping the game of design and upping the game of 3D, because as we know, in 3D, complexity comes free. So we want to make sure we're helping people design complexity into their objects now. And one of the ways we're doing that is with Spark and Ember. Ember is right down here. We're going to try to sneak around the crowds to see it.
So how's our quality been, Chris?
We can get over here.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Good.
Andreas, can I sneak down?
So here is the
There it is.
awe-inspiring Ember.
Oh, actually.
So right now we're in an early Explorer program. You can see it.
Look, guys,
going
it
in the
actually is real. It's not just Photoshop. Look, I'm touching it right now.
So that one's one over here is actually printing.
What's the little one?
The printer on the right is
So
actually
Chris is
printing
asking, what's this little
the
one
entire
here?
build volume here.
That'll explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is our cleaning station. This isn't something that, this is printer agnostic. Anything that's using a UV curable photoresin would be able to use this. So it's just a way, we found that if you're curing the object once you're done cleaning it up, while it's completely submerged in isopropyl alcohol, like, you get way better results with that.
Excellent. What's the price of that? I know Chris and I can both need one. How much?
What's that?
How much is the...
So it's, there's no MSRP on it yet, but the Ember Explorer program is for $59.95.
Okay. And that includes the cleaner there? And what if I just needed the cleaner?
You know, I'm not sure on the cleaner. We need to need to figure that out. Not 100% released. This is our first venture into hardware. We're really excited about it. There's a lot of potential here.
Well, sounds good. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, did you talk about the Spark platform?
No, but you should.
Yeah, so one thing that you'll notice is with every single booth out here today, we've all solved the exact same problems. Yeah, so...
Actually, bring it a little closer.
Okay, so rather than reinventing the wheel with all these things, we're releasing the Spark platform as a way for people to innovate and build on top of these basic solutions.
Really cool. Very cool. Chris, you got any questions while we're here?
Yeah, this just looks great. I'm real excited. So $59.95 gets you into the Spark program.
Cool. Hello world.
Actually, you have to join the Spark, right? You have to get into the Spark Initiative program, and then they'll give you a rebate or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, for Spark, it's we're still taking join. Send an email, tell us what you're up to, and we'll contact you and let you know if it's going to fit in right now or not. We're looking at probably about 6 months out down the road to really fully release the platform.
Well, I've been accepted, but I don't have $6,000.
Yeah. On the platform itself, though, we've released an early version of a one-click print studio.
Really?
I can show you the results of that, really,
okay,
if you want
sure.
to see them.
That's kind of nifty.
Sneak in. So the idea behind Print Studio is that you shouldn't have to generate your own support anymore. As a designer, you want to design an object, hit print, and then see it come out of the printer. So if you look here, this is the platform. It's upside down from the Enter printer. But what they did is they had the model, and then they hit print, and you can see all the support structures. Looks like they were generated in Mesh Mixer. You can kind of see the current theme. Then we just break those off. And this is all castable resin, which is awesome as well for those metalheads out there.
Actually, this can be done in Mesh Mixer now, right?
Yes, this can be accomplished with Mesh Mixer manually if you'd like to do that, or you can go in and just hit the automatic button, so you can use that on your
Mesh Mixer
FDA
or in this application you're talking about. Okay, so did you hear that? Now you can do it all in Mesh Mixer.
Yeah.
Mesh Mixer is just becoming that go-to product for everything. I really like it. I just got finished doing some smoothing the other day. And it actually sometimes works, 3D Code, a little bit better than 3D Code. And it's still free. You guys you rock.
We try our best, yeah.
So anything else before we leave your booth?
Let's go see the dress, and then, we should probably see Voxel 8, which is kind of the highlight of the show.
Okay.
Voxel 8, the highlight of the show.
So Voxel 8 is a 3D printer that also prints circuitry directly into the printer.
Oh, yeah.
So as you're printing with PLA, it's also laying down a layer of conductive silver. So you're having, your circuits inside of, you can see it in the video here.
Can you see that?
You're able to implement your components. It's laying down the silver, and then
that's awesome.
When it comes off, the light's already going.
So how much?
So this is going to retail at $8,999 right now, but they're still in a prototype stage, so we'll see where it goes. And we have also announced a software package to do this, where you can bring in any STL file into a program that we're calling Wire, and then you can add the circuitry into it so that you can use these type of printers, as they will be the future within the next 2 or 3 years.
So Chris, you got anything to questions on this, or?
And we can get one when?
When? When can we get one?
When can you get one, or when can the audience get one?
When can the audience get one, and then when can I get one?
We don't know a release date yet. They're still looking at manufacturing. We're going to probably say in the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see that? They just made a little quad.
Little quad.
Very, very cool. So did you win a show award for this?
What's that?
Did you win a show award for this?
No, but this is like, it's the coolest thing. I mean, if you walk around the 3D printing sphere, no one's doing this type of stuff, and these guys are just amazing.
Yeah.
And amazing to work with as well.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So this is Voxel 8. So they're not necessarily Autodesk, they're another company then.
Yeah, so Voxel 8's their own printing company, and we developed the software called Wire to help people create things in Voxel 8.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's keep going around. What do we want to look at now? You mentioned the dress. Is that over here?
Oh.
Okay, let's go take a look at it.
So let's go look at, this is Nervous Systems. And I will let them actually talk for themselves because they happen to be with us. Hey, Jessica.
Hi.
Surprise.
Hi, we're on All Things 3D.
So they're All Things 3D. It's a podcast.
And we're live right now.
So
you
want to
great.
talk about the dress?
Sure. So I have with me my second ever 3D printed dress we've created. It's called the Kinematics dress, and the story behind it is how can we create a custom fit wearable dress that is usable straight out of the machine with no assembly. So this dress has over 3,500 moving parts, but they're all printed completely assembled. Additionally, the dress is larger than the machine that made it, so the idea behind that is we can simulate the behavior of that fabric and fold it up and find a smaller form for printing. So similar to how you would fold a t-shirt to put in your drawer, we fold up the dress and we print that folded dress, which is very small and efficient.
Very, very cool. Mind if I touch it? Touch it? Can I touch it?
I can't hear what he said.
Touch it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
You can definitely touch it.
So, that's kind of neat. So they're all interlocked. Do you see that, Chris?
They're completely all interlocked, so it behaves sort of like a fabric. So
very, very cool.
Might have been too fast.
And what printer did they print this on?
What type of printer did you print it on?
This was printed on an EOS sinter station printer, so it's a selective laser sintering machine that fuses together nylon powder.
Okay, so this is a nylon powder there. Very cool. So if I were to make one of these, how much would it cost?
Well, right now we have some apps on our website that you can use to design your own accessories. Most of those things like bracelets and necklaces cost under $100 to make a completely custom piece. The dress is going to be considerably more expensive. We're not selling them quite yet, but a dress would be in thousands of dollars price range rather than hundreds.
I'm going to get my wife one of those. Yeah, she'd kill me. Okay, pretty neat though. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Jesse, anything else? Are we about wrapped it up?
We kind of wrapped it up.
Well, again, Jesse, thank you. Here, take it. We appreciate you for coming on.
You know, the best thing about these shows is you can stand next to co-founders of places like Type A Machines, just bump into them in the hall. It's kind of awesome.
Pretty cool. So do you know him, Chris? Hello, Chris, still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, I think he dozed off there. Well, again, thank you, Jesse. Thank you. We'll talk later. Okay, so let's see where else we can go. Well, it looks like 3D System has a huge booth as well. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Actually,
I see Ultimaker.
Yeah, do you want me to head over to Ultimaker? I think I will.
Oh, we might. Yeah, we might want to see
come
what
back.
they've got cooking.
Actually, Eric invited me over earlier, so I don't know if he's still there. If he is, we'll talk. So let's navigate through here. Oh, look at this. This is our friend from India. Remember?
Yeah.
There it is. In black.
Wow.
So if you remember, we've got Sander. Sander is over there. He's obviously talking to somebody. And yeah, here he comes. Hi, Sander. Why don't you take our mic? Give us a...
Hi.
So if you remember Sander, he was the tall guy that you saw at
Can we move to the other side of the booth? It's hard to hear you.
Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
So we've had Sander on a couple of times, a couple of our round tables.
Great music, but sometimes difficult.
Actually, if you bring it up closer, then...
Yeah, like this?
Yes, excellent.
Okay.
So, like I said, Sander's been on our round table, and why don't you kind of just tell our audience what we've got here? Anything? Oh, looks like you've got your new one up there, huh? That's the 2 extended, and what makes the 2 different, or the 2 extended different than the previous version?
Okay, I didn't really hear what you were saying, so I'm just going to make a guess and tell you what we've been doing here at CES. At the first day of CES online, we launched a new website, which emphasizes our open source nature. It is looking for the better interaction with our community, putting them on stage, telling their story with pride. That can be done in either words or images. But let them know that the entire community know what everybody is making and doing, and what everybody is using 3D printing for, as a source of help and inspiration. Besides the new website, we also have launched or expanded our range of Ultimaker 2 products. The Ultimaker 2 got quite some traction in 2014, where it won the Make Shootout, and in the 3D print show it was awarded as the best consumer product. That kind of inspired us to expand the range with an Ultimaker 2 Go. We have one over there. It's a smaller design than the Ultimaker 2.
The Ultimaker Mini.
Yep, it comes with a transport container. That means if you travel a lot between the office and home or work, it's very easy to take with you. You can carry it on your shoulder or carry it behind you with wheels. Because of its smaller size, the heated bed is not a requirement. That means you can start your print faster. You don't have to wait for the heated bed to heat up. And so this is a very fast printer. Besides that, it offers the same high quality as the Ultimaker 2.
Yeah, it looks just like an Ultimaker 2, except
it's
tiny.
very cute printer. I love it.
So what's the price on this one, Sander?
The price is $1,400 US.
Oh, okay, very reasonable. Very reasonable. It actually looks like it's got the same extruder and print head, huh?
Yep. It has, yeah, because like I said, with the in 2014, the success of the Ultimaker 2 inspired us to expand the range, make this family more available to a wider range of users. Yeah, and besides the Ultimaker 2 Go over there, I'll put my water bottle here. We also have the Ultimaker 2 Extended. It has also the same quality as the Ultimaker 2, but with a larger build volume, so you can print taller models. Just for those users who came short that 10 extra centimeters, the Ultimaker 2 Extended is a great choice for maybe more the prosumer who print larger models.
Pretty cool. So what's the price on this one?
The price for the Ultimaker 2 Extended is $3,000 US.
$3,000. Okay,
yep.
So it's about the same price of the original Ultimaker 2 when it came out last year.
I think it's a little bit higher. The Ultimaker 2 is $2,500, and it remains the same price.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason $3,000 sticks in my mind, but maybe that was shipping. Or...
It could be that a certain reseller may added a little bit price because there was a large run on the Ultimaker 2s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions, Chris, while I'm here?
No. Is there anything else new that he wants to show us?
Anything else new?
Well, we have quite some impressive prints. I always love to put the users in the spotlight as well.
Okay.
Well, you probably are already familiar with the dress made by the XYZ workshop.
Actually, I am not.
It also comes with a train. I don't know if you can see it on the picture, but we left that one out because we didn't want any audience on the show to treble upon it. But it is a great showpiece like this.
Excellent, excellent.
I actually...
What's this one up here?
Yeah, Michael, I also have something as a little surprise for you. You'll be the first one to see it, actually.
Okay, good.
Well, unless you've been here at the show, obviously.
Let's see. Let's see what he's got to show us.
All right.
A lot of people already have seen the lightsaber before. It was made by Velcro, one of our users at Ultimaker. We've been, like many of you also know, we are involved with Enable. And one thing that I've been working with them is to create a customized Enable prosthetic hand, which once the project is finished, we're going to share it with the community, or with the Enable community, to select one child that can have this customized prosthetic hand. We have it here on display. It is a steampunk Iron Man hand.
Can you see that?
It's not quite finished yet. It's a work in progress. But this will give you a pretty good idea of what it will look like in the end.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Hey, and over here we've got Velcro and, oh geez.
And the Ducati Superbike.
Yes.
Also, The robot is made by Aaron.
Oh no, there goes my camera.
It's one of my favorite prints, and the Ducati. We've never brought it to any shows. This is also kind of like a first time.
Now, do you know the backstory behind your robot there, which was by Ronan? Do you know where he's from?
He's from India, the designer. Yep.
Yeah, he actually was we did an interview with him.
Yeah.
Very, very nice guy. But he first said, yeah, I'm still living with my mom because I was laid off from my 3D job.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's all changed for him.
Yeah, we love to get involved with our community members. We also have some here at our booth. And last year when we were at the Maker Faire in New York, we also invited Aaron to fly over from India to the Maker Faire in New York so we could meet him in person and show our gratitude to the work that he has been done, and we hang out with him through the entire week, and we had a great time.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Love to have him on. So I wonder, does he have anything else that's coming out, do you know?
Sorry?
Does he have a new product coming out, Ronin 2 or something like that?
Well,
I saw the large one there.
Yeah, in the Maker Faire in New York, we had a larger version of the Ronin figurine. It is not fully articulated like the smaller one, but not any less impressive. It is a stunning 3 feet tall.
So if you remember, we did an interview with Ronin, or actually about the Ronin. What was his name? Do you remember, Chris? Alan, right? Alan. Ronin was done by Alan?
Aaron
okay.
Thomas.
Aaron Thomas.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Aaron Thomas.
So yeah, he's a really nice guy, as mentioned, from India. So we've kind of traveled around the world to get a bunch of people on our show. And it looks like he built a special, as you mentioned, 3-foot version. So hopefully I'll get in contact with him and see what else he's been working on.
Yeah, you should definitely. Yeah, he made the smaller Ronin. Was a project by himself. I got to meet him kind of by chance in the very early stages of the project, and we stayed in touch ever since. And I was so impressed by the Ronin figurine that we started talking, and he made this larger Ronin, especially for us as a show model on our events. And it gets a lot of attention, and it's a great print. It's a very talented artist.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, you got a nice booth here, and Ultimaker is an awesome printer.
Thanks.
And I, as you know, I was using it for a year, and it was one of my better printers. But sadly, I don't know you know the story, but it's departed. It's now got a new home in Florida, but I'm going to have to get one of those little tiny ones as soon as I get $1,500. Pretty cool. So again, Sander, I appreciate you coming on with me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And we'll talk again. Maybe I'll get you back on a round table for next year, this year. Okay.
I'll be happy to.
All right, thanks. Okay, so let's see. Let's go over in this direction here. So I'm going to skip 3D System and maybe come back to them. We're about half our battery, and what's our time? 11:14. So we got about 45 minutes. So how are you doing, Chris? You hanging in there?
Yeah, hanging in there. This is fun to walk around the show.
Okay. So this is TCT Mag. So Sculpteo, actually I have worked with them. They are like a 3D print distributor, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're like Shapeways, and they've got a place in San Francisco, and they can actually get you product cheaper, not necessarily cheaper, faster, but not necessarily cheaper than Shapeways. And they use, I think, a 3D System SLS type printer to do some of their stuff here, and I guess here's some samples of it. I'm not going to bother them, but you can find them on the web. So if you don't have your own printer, or if you need a lot, one of the things that they're promoting is kind of being your manufacturer, so they can do volume printing. But I didn't find the prices that competitive. So let's go to Shining 3D. Hanging over here, I talked to them yesterday. So it looks like, can you see that, Chris?
Yeah.
So it appears that they also make a a scanner.
A scanner.
So maybe we'll get a chance to actually talk to somebody. But we can see him actually. So it looks like it's a projected pattern type scanner. Looks like he's scanning Beethoven. Let me see if I can get in there and look at his software. So it's interesting. It's kind of like the Artec. Quality looks pretty good. You seeing that? Here,
yeah.
They scanned the G.I. Joe on a turntable. You see that there? Huh. So, you know, the problem is the Artec is a great scanner, but it's $10,000. So let's see if I can find out what this thing costs. So Shining 3D. I don't know why that rings a bell with me. Chris, have you heard of them?
No, never have.
You know what? I guess maybe if you look them up on the web while we're talking, then you can feed my ear and kind of talk about them a little bit. So I'm not finding anybody. Let's see if I'll go over here. Excuse me. Let's see if we can get in.
Shining
they look pretty busy, and they've got a small crew here. So it looks like they're actually printing little quartz. You see those here? That's kind of
neat. They're Chinese. Yeah.
So it looks like they do laser printing inside quartz. That's kind of glass or crystal. It's called the Argus Pro 3D laser engraving machine. Pretty neat. Yeah, it's too bad. I'd like to know what the price is on their scanner, and that's kind of neat. Obviously, it's not what we do, but I guess that would be good for kiosks and things like that. So you could scan somebody and then immediately put them in quartz or crystal. Okay, well, I'll come back. Let's keep going. Hey, actually, let's come back. Hi, how are you? Yep. How about I give you a mic? And so I don't know. We talked to them in San Jose about a year ago, if you remember, Chris. They have, and you've actually tried it out. Remember that pen I had, and you put on some glasses, and you can actually work in 3D? Do you remember that? Leo Poly? Okay. And so this is that same company, but they also do a lot of software. So maybe you can give us a little bit of a rundown. What's the name? Roland. Okay. So Roland, kind of tell us a little bit about Leo Poly.
Poly is basically a missing link in the 3D. Leo Poly is basically a missing link in the 3D printing ecosystem. This is a 3D customization and 3D design application. So you can basically design or customize whatever object you'd like to print out with any of the printers you can see here. It's easy, it's browser-based, and if you are a company, you can set up your own vase customization or phone case customization application. So finally, we now have the tools to create by ourselves our own loved and personalized things.
So if I remember correctly, you also cater more to the educational market. So you're getting
Sorry, I cannot hear you at all.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting my feedback. I'm going to, hang on a second. Let me bring this down a little. Test. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So you can hear me now.
Yeah.
So this is used in the educational market as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's very easy to use.
Yes.
When I was talking, and I can't remember his name, about a year ago, I think you were just starting to get involved with it. So how has the market grown for you?
In the education market?
Yes.
You know, printers are getting out there in schools. And the usual question from teachers and schools, that's great, but what can I do with the printers? How do I create content? How do I engage students? And this is a great answer for that because it's easy, it's browser-based, and teachers just can set up their own private gallery and invite the teachers in a private gallery and interface. And this is very well appreciated. So it is a growing market. We see a great potential. This is something that teachers who are open-minded and who already have a 3D printer in their schools can easily apply and use as an engaging 3D customization tool.
Great. Well, thank you, Roland.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate
Did
it.
it make any sense?
Yes, it did.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and we've actually played with it. I actually have one of the units with the 3D.
Yeah, so,
it's pretty cool.
I didn't see that. That looks perfect.
Yeah, actually, we're live right now. We're doing a
Okay.
Google Hangouts. That's one of the reasons I have it set up like.
Okay.
So thank you, Roland. So look who we got here. Let's see if we can find John. That looks like John over there. Hi. You see him, Chris?
Yeah.
We're in the SeeMeCNC booth. Oh, okay. Steve, how about John? Is John here as well? Okay. All right, we'll give him a moment. Hi, Steve. All things 3D.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How about giving us a little bit of a rundown? What'd you bring with you today?
I get to meet you in live.
Yeah, I don't know. That's good.
Where's the crazy background?
I should actually.
What do you want to talk about?
I've got my glockals. I don't know. Why don't you tell us what you brought here?
Tell us what we brought here?
Yes.
All right, I'm Steve Wygant.
You have to bring it up a little closer.
Hi, I'm Steve Wygant from SeeMeCNC, aka Part Daddy. We're live here at the CES 2015. We have the Orion and the new Eris that we brought with us.
Oh, the new Eris.
Yeah, the Eris is a little PLA printer that's new. It's all injection molded. It is going to be available in March. Its retail price is going to be about $599. And you can take a look at it if you walk over here.
Okay.
Around this side, we're printing a Benjamin Franklin from the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
So there it is.
So it features a acetyl slides instead of a bearing. So we save a lot of cost in doing it that way, but we can also control the accuracy because we manufacture all of these parts back in our shop in Indiana.
Sounds good. So what is the accuracy?
The accuracy of this will be much like our other printers. It's 100 micron. We're printing the 200 micron layers, so 0.2 millimeters. So yeah, it's going to be a fun little printer. We expect to sell quite a few of them and get people started with 3D printing with this machine.
Sounds good. Hey, Chris is asking for a pen. Can we get a pen? No, writing pen? Actually, he didn't. I want a pen. Thanks. So again, the price on this will be
The price is going to be $599 retail.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Yes.
And as you know, Chris
Awesome.
has a Rostock Max. He loves it, and yeah, I guess you cut your teeth on it in this market. I'm talking for him now. But he is on the other end. Chris, you got any questions while I've got Steve here?
No, I mean, I'm looking to upgrade my Rostock V1 to a V2.
Chris wants
is
to
there
upgrade from a V1 to a V2. Is there an upgrade path?
A V1 to the V2. Yes, we have a...
Hi, John.
Yeah, the upgrade kit. Yep. Let's let John Oley tackle that
Sounds
question.
Good. So this is John Oley. We've talked to him several times.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Let me get you both in there.
Hold it closer.
Yeah, you have to bring it up real close. Okay. So John, why don't you tell us about this V1 to V2? Chris is on the other end of this.
Hey Chris, how you doing? So yeah, we've sold quite a few thousand of the Rostock Max V1s a long time ago, and when we came out with the V2, it took us about a month or two to really get all the bugs worked out, but we do have an upgrade kit, so even all of our early original, all the way back to the Indiegogo campaign that we did almost 3 years ago now. Anybody that's got an original V1 can get on our website and just go to the search bar at the top there and search for the V1 to V2 conversion, and that'll bring up the kit. I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but that brings you up to all the new parts, all the injection molded changes that we've done, like the arms and the carriages, new wood parts, so you get the new frame design and everything. So it's about a weekend project to convert over between the two machines.
Sounds fun. Chris is over there nodding his head.
Yeah. $449. $449.
He says it's $449. Sound right?
Okay. Oh, he pulled it up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our internet's a little sketchy here at CES, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised the Google Hangouts are working.
Actually, I've got a little I've got a little secret ingredient. So
Very
yeah, we
good.
are live, and this will be shooting up to YouTube as soon as it's finished. So head out and check it out. So again, nice meeting you guys in person.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Good to meet you in person.
Thanks. And
We'll
Chris-
see you around on another show sometime.
All right. Thanks,
So
guys.
what was that, Steve?
Midwest Rep Festival.
When's that?
March 20th through the 22nd.
Where's it at?
Northern Indiana. So yeah, the Midwest Rep Festival is coming up here in another 2 months, something like that. So March 20th, 21st, and 22nd in Goshen, Indiana, right down the road from our shop. Last year we had over 1,000 people there just hanging out with 3D printers. It's like the anti-trade show. Quite the opposite of this one, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, we get Prusa. We've invited all of the main core RepRap developers. We've got, I'm sure LulzBot will be back again. Just tons of people. If you ever get on the forums or the IRC channels or anything, it's a really great opportunity to get together, put names to faces, learn about 3D printing. We have talks and seminars on some of the hot topics and what we see the state of desktop 3D printers, where they're coming, where they're going.
Sounds great.
Tallman's going to be there this year. It's actually, he emailed me this morning, said it's his first ever appearance ever on he hasn't even gone to a maker fair or a show of any kind, so it'll be neat to finally get to meet him.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to save up our pennies. I almost couldn't afford this.
Well, it's pretty cheap out in the middle of the cornfield, so you ought to be able to make it.
You got to get Lars from Matter Control there, too.
You said you have to get Lars from Matter Pixel.
Matter Pixel?
Control. Matter Control.
No, Matter.
Oh, Matter Hackers. Yeah.
Matter
Yep,
Hackers.
I've invited those guys, so we'll probably we tripled the size of it from the first year I put it on to the second year, so we're anticipating about that again, so probably 2,000 to 3,000 people.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome. I might have to fly
give
out
the date
there
again.
for
Yeah,
that.
Chris might
It's
want to.
March 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and if you go to midwestrepfest.org, it's kind of a mouthful, but that'll give you all the information, directions, hotels. There's a map at the top. You can also register. There's no cost at all to come to the show. That just kind of helps us plan and see just how many crazy things we're going to do there.
Excellent. So maybe Chris will show up there, and I'll man the booth on the other.
There you go.
Okay. Well, great.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you,
again, guys.
I'm almost out of battery here, so thanks.
See you around.
All right.
All right. Well, we're on an hour and a half. We could take a little break here.
Well,
Mike.
the problem is my battery's going to go, so let's kind of keep going if you don't mind.
Sure.
I don't know if if somebody wants to grab the mic. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk. Let people see. This is Envision Tech over here. It looks like they have looks like another SLA printer.
Yeah, we met them at San Jose. They've been around for a while.
Okay. Yeah, theirs is a little bit pricey, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is a thing I remember seeing. Yeah.
Yeah, they sell pro-grade SLA.
Okay. So, it's quality. If you need something on a professional, this is the direction to go. So let's turn around over here. We got FSL 3D. Again, another SLA printer. Looks like $34.99. Oh, okay, we know who these are. They're the ones that do the full spectrum laser.
The Pegasus.
Yes. So this must be the Pegasus Touch. So there's a little screen coming up there. So let's see if we can get somebody to talk to real quick. Hi, I'm Mike from All Things 3D, and I've got Chris on the other end. We're live on our Google Hangouts, so if you'd like to kind of give us a rundown. We've heard about you, we've talked about you on our weekly podcast, and so now we get to meet you in person. So kind of give us a rundown of the Pegasus.
Awesome.
Where's it standing now? And it's been about a year.
Well, we just made a few announcements. Is this better?
Yes.
Great. Well, Mike, this is FSL 3D. Welcome to our brand new booth. What you can see here, we have 2 printers on display, another one kind of sitting off to the side. That is our Pegasus 1, which is a printer that we launched last year at 2014 CES. We raised $819,000 on Kickstarter. We're very grateful for that. We are now expanding into DLP printers, so this is an early alpha prototype right here.
Okay.
You can see a partially assembled case. This is an early concept of our Phoenix Professional line.
Okay.
We have 2 printers that we're planning to launch with, the Phoenix line. One of them is a UV LED DLP, $49.99. That's got a build area that's approximately 2 inches by 1.5 inches. And then we're also going to be launching one that's based off of a consumer projector, and that one is going to be $3,500 or $34.99. And that one will have a build area of about 2.5 inches by 3 inches.
Okay.
We're also upgrading the Pegasus.
The original Pegasus.
We're going to be releasing a Pegasus 2. You can see, if you look inside, we're upgrading the motion system to use a ball screw now.
Oh.
Gives us more accurate motion. It'll let us increase the speed. A few other things to note about this printer. We're switching to an injection molded head. It's a little bit easier to clean. And one of the big innovations that we're making and we're announcing now at CES is our Super Vat. This particular vat technology, for those familiar with stereolithography 3D printers, know that your vat, the container that holds your resin, wears out. Some of them wear out relatively quickly. The ones using the polydimethylsiloxane, that silicone coating tends to cloud and wear out pretty quick. What we've actually done is we've developed a polymer. This is a special release coating that does not wear out. So this actually solves a lot of the problems that people are seeing with resin printers, in that you have this consumable vat that's kind of expensive to replace, and now you'll no longer need to do that thanks to the Super Vat.
Wow, pretty neat. Chris, you got any questions while I'm here?
Yeah, so how have you shipped your Kickstarter backer rewards yet?
Chris is asking if you have shipped to your Kickstarter backers yet.
Yeah, I think that we closed all that up in October or November. So we've been dealing with backlog right now, and starting this year, we're finally in stock. So our production is caught up with the order demand.
Okay.
We have, for those that don't know, we're based here in Las Vegas. We're a local company, and we have 2 assembly lines. We have our lasers. So that over there is our 5th gen desktop laser. That's made here in Las Vegas. We also have the Pegasus assembly line here in Las Vegas. We employ about 15 assembly line workers making these machines.
So maybe you can squash a rumor before it continues to be spread. Someone mentioned to me that we can only use your resins. Is that true?
I didn't quite catch that. You have to just speak up for me.
I apologize. I got feedback coming in, so I must be talking quieter. Everybody's saying that. There's a rumor that you can only use your resins. Is that true, or are there other manufacturers that are making resins?
So, like almost every other resin 3D printer that I know, due to the particulars of the chemical reaction, each resin is tuned for its machine. So right now, the only resin that works in this machine is our resin. If you were to drop in a Formlabs resin or a B9 resin, the way that our laser moves, the algorithms that we're using to draw the actual parts, those resins wouldn't give you good results. They probably wouldn't even cure.
Are you familiar with Made Solid or Maker Juice?
I've heard of those companies, yes.
So if they were to make something that matched your chemical process, would it be able to run on yours?
Yeah, the settings aren't exposed to the user. One thing that we've seen is we've tested a lot of third-party resins. There are other companies besides those two, and one of the things that we found is that the results that you'll get, just due to the fact that we're using some pretty advanced algorithms, we really strongly suggest that people use our resin. The printer is designed to be used with our resin. We're using some pretty high-quality components. The raw materials that go into these resins are actually choosing the right raw materials, choosing something that's higher end, actually makes a really big difference in the quality of the final product.
So what does it cost for a liter?
Right now it's $100 per liter.
Okay. Okay, Chris, any other questions?
Awesome, thanks so much.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you, and bye. All right, let's head over by MakerBot and keep my camera. Don't want to make our audience sick.
It's like walking around a trade show without actually being there.
Huh? Yeah.
I feel like I'm walking around a real trade show.
Well, if I would have been really smart, I would have created an Oculus Rift stereo image, and then you could put your Rift on and you could actually be here. So
except for every time I ever walk around a trade show, I'm like sleep deprived. Whereas like right now, I feel fine.
You feel refreshed, huh? So right now we're in the MakerBot booth, and let's see if we can get somebody. I didn't tell you yesterday. I talked to Jenny. Remember we had some information on our show about that MakerBot is coming out with a new portable scanner. Do you remember talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I presented that information to one of the writers, who then put it up on the site, and I guess they got in hot water with MakerBot, and they actually mentioned me by name, and they said, and actually Jenny said, well, the sources weren't validated, I guess. I don't remember her exact words. And I just kind of kept it to myself, because actually when you talk to the CEO of the company who makes the scanner, that kind of validates it in my book. But I let it slide and acted stupid so that I could hopefully get some more conversation from them. So it looks like it doesn't look like I'm going to get anybody to talk to. But we do have an interview with Jenny, hopefully later in the month, unless she's completely pissed off at me and doesn't want to talk to me. But these are the actual printers. Remember, there's our scanner there. It's interesting that so many people went with that dual scanner. If you remember, there's a guy in, I want to say Bulgaria, but that's not it. I can't remember the name now. That's got something that looks almost identical to it. Interesting. And then here's their little mini replicator. And you can go out to their website and get the pricing. I personally think they're a little bit on the high side. But if you can tell, it's an ABS build quality. This is their new MakerBot replicator. Remember, I have a MakerBot 2, so this replaced the MakerBot 2, and then or the replicator 2. And then over here, we've got the 2X. If you remember, we kind of had somebody bring one in. It's their 2 extruder version, but people have problems with it, so maybe they've refined that. And then here's their Z18. If I remember correctly, this sells for like $6,000, but man, seeing it in person, it looks pretty impressive. It's large. It looks like a small refrigerator. You see that there? Chris, you still with us?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is their booth. As you know, CES has more than just 3D printing. They've got all kinds of stuff. Oh, look at this. You know, MakerBot also carries a lot of their own filament, and they have PLA and ABS, which is interesting since they've tried to move more into PLA. And I actually like their PLA. It's good stuff, but it's a little bit on the pricey side, but I've never had any problems using their PLA. But like I said, what is it? I can't remember the name of the company. That Polymax, man, I love that stuff. That stuff prints well. Okay, so here we've got some actual samples. Oh, they made a little town. Can you see that there?
Mm-hmm.
How cute. Yeah, but it looks like standard STL printing. You know, I have to give credit to MakerGear. Once I've changed out the extruder, that thing really prints well. I think I showed you some of the stuff that I printed off of that with the Polymax. So we're going to keep heading down here, see if there's something else that... Oh, look, there's a DWS. I'm going to go ahead and go over here. We talked about this, didn't we? X-Fab. Wow, that's a nice looking SLA printer. Let's see if we can get in there to talk to somebody. Hi, you want to give us a little bit of a rundown? I'm from All Things 3D, and we're doing a live podcast right now, so I'll give it to Sylvia. So kind of tell us about this. This thing is really nice looking. What does it do?
Yeah, hi, we are DWS, and we are entering in the market with a 3D printer for a prosumer level. It's the X-Fab from DWS Lab, and it's $5,000 plus what it will be delivered starting from April 2015. Yeah.
So
we have 10 different materials.
So what country are you from? I noticed.
We are from Italy.
Italy, okay,
yeah,
yes, I think I saw them.
We are based in Italy, and we develop, produce, and sell the printer, the materials, and the softwares as well.
Well, that's a nice looking printer, really well designed. So the build size looks fairly large. What's the build size on this?
Yeah, it's 180 millimeters of diameter and 180 of height. So it's pretty
Can
good.
I poke my camera in there a little bit and get a better view? Can you see that, Chris?
Talk with the general manager.
Yeah.
He's here.
So what's unique about this printer? is it a laser base or is it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a laser from the bottom that is solidifies a liquid material that is inside the tank. It is injected by a cartridge system.
Okay.
So you can choose between 10 different materials. Also a casting wax, rubber-like, ABS with different colors, transparent materials, and you solidify it layer by layer. The layers can go from 10 microns to 100 microns.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so you have high definition and smooth surfaces.
Yeah, so most SLA is very slow. What's the performance?
Well, it's not that slow.
Go ahead and make sure the mic is by you.
Yeah, sorry. For example, is around 6 hours for this model.
Oh, that actually is very
And you have a really, really smooth surface.
Okay.
Actually.
You mind if I touch it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Do you see that, Chris?
Yeah.
Let me see and put it in the camera. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, I mean, it is extremely smooth, Chris.
Also,
very nice.
we have different techniques
yes.
to remove the support.
Did you notice that Formlabs came out with a new system very similar to this?
Yeah.
And that really, I have a Form 1, but looking at something else, and this has been in my opinion, the biggest problem with it because the supports were so large that it left little.
No, now it's really, really easy to remove.
Great.
Also, because we developed
you have a product with them
software.
removed that I can take a look at? Because normally you don't have that on the little RP.
For example, this one is the rubber light.
Okay, so this is the flexible material. You see that, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually, man, that's like injected molded quality, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, so there's some, yeah, I see it here.
Well, we didn't.
Okay, so you have to sand it. Well, but that's important though because
we wanted to show actually how it is.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks a little better, but yeah, I think you can't get away with that. And yes, you do have to sand it. But the problem is when you sand it with most SLAs, it kind of ruins the finish. So I've always had to either paint or use some other finish on it. Very nice. So $5,000. When will it be available? April, right?
April 2015.
Okay. Great. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Okay. Well, that was kind of. Yes, please. Oh, and here's. Oh, look at this. Looks like they've got a smaller one. You see this?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that is of a lower cost. But as you can see there, this is about the little RP size. But you know, not to keep bringing up little RP, but man, what you get for the money after looking at some of these, Brad better start churning those things out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're about almost ready to wrap it up. Chris, I know that it's been hard on your feet, so thank you very much. So what's the price on this little one here?
This is the professional line.
Okay, so this would be much more expensive.
Yeah,
okay.
it goes from $10,000, the small one, to 205.
Okay, so but this is your professional line that you
Yeah,
consume.
it is divided into jewelry, dental and biomedical application, and industrial design. You
Okay.
can find some samples there if you
Okay,
want to see it.
great. All right, well, thank you very much for your time. Okay, well, I've got my hands full here. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, we got another high resolution booth here. You see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so notice that they're using this stereoscopic process. I did an interview yesterday with Fuel 3D, and if my batteries don't run out, I'll probably head over there before we end it. But can you see what they're doing there?
Yeah, sure can.
So they looks like they took images from the front and the two sides. Interesting. Hi. Maybe Dan can give us a little bit of a rundown. Hi Dan, you want to give us a little bit of a talk? I'm from All Things 3D. We do a podcast and YouTube channel.
Okay.
So what is it that you do here? Bring the mic.
Well, we make a variety of products, mostly in 3D. We have a lot of dental products, orthodontic products, maxillofacial surgery, plastic surgery. But we do facial scanning, instant facial scanning, and we do diagnosis and treatment planning for different fields, as well as we can use use the scans, facial scans, for things like cosmetics and all kinds of things that we can do with full body scanning, and it's instant, simultaneous instant capture. And then we also have high resolution 3D printing and very fast printing. We can print a dental model, for example, in 12 minutes. So, and it's so smooth it looks like injection molded compared to printing.
Wow, looks really nice. So what kind of technique do you use in your 3D scanning? I notice you've got a nice looking booth here. One, what's its price? And then second, what type of technology are you working with?
Well, we use our own variation of stereo matching and photogrammetry, but it also has some unique proprietary characteristics that we built into it for simultaneous capture. That's the biggest thing. It's simultaneous, instant, automated capture. You click one button and it automatically does anywhere from just a face on up to entire body 360 without any processing, handling, or anything that the human has to do.
Okay, so may I ask what it would cost to get something like that? I'm looking at the results there. It looks very impressive. So what does this cost?
This unit that's here is about $24,000. We have systems, handheld systems that range from $999 on up to much higher, depending on how many cameras and what quality cameras.
So you had a handheld that's $1,000. Do you have that here?
We don't have it here.
Okay. All right. Do you have a business card? I might want to look you up and ask you to come on and do a longer interview with us if that's possible.
Okay.
So thank you. I guess I did that.
Did you want to get it scanned?
No, I won't have time. Here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hand you that.
That's okay. And actually, I'll give you my card too. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed. We do a lot of scanning and yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the quality of these compared to...
It's like a photo. The pores, it's just like...
Yeah, you can zoom in on it and it has such high detail that it actually has, you can see the pores in the skin.
Yeah, I noticed
You can zoom in and see such high detail. You can see the pores in the skin, little blood vessels in the skin. It's very great for dermatology as well because you can actually monitor the size of moles and disfigurations in the skin.
Yeah, and it seems like it's almost real time, like 1/60th, 100th of a second.
Yeah,
so
the capture time is actually anywhere from 1 millisecond up to 60 milliseconds, depending on the cameras and so forth.
Well, I've done some interviews with Artec and then a group in Dube in Germany, but they want $80,000 to $100,000 for their booths. Very reasonable pricing.
Right.
So yes, I would like to get an interview with at a later date, Dan. Okay. So thank you very much. Excellent. Pretty neat, huh? Did you see that that
really
gentleman?
great.
I mean, the quality was superb. Pretty neat.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep walking. Hopefully I don't stop again before my battery. I'm just going to go until the batteries run out. I just dropped something. Hang on. Oh, look. You know these people.
Is this Dassault?
Yes. So I don't know what they have here. You know what? I'm going to have to ditch this. I don't have any room. Hold on. So are you familiar with 3D Excite? Have you heard of this?
3D Excite?
Yeah.
No, I don't know about. Is it 3D animation?
Looks like it. Well, like I said, I'm almost out of battery, so I'm going to go over here. Oh, looks like another company. 3D Print Life. You see that there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Cube Pro. Okay, it looks
like...
Oh,
it's 3D Systems.
It's 3D Systems. So that's their Cube Pro. We kind of talked about that on the show. Yeah, it pretty much looks like what it does in the pictures. Man, that's fairly large. What was the price on that? Didn't they drop it to like $3,500, $4,000 for their dual extruder, if I remember, or their single extruder, and then it went up when you got.
But you also have to take into consideration I think they're working on the they're doing a it's proprietary material.
That's true. So you'd have to get. There's their little filament cartridge there. And it's normally
Right.
about twice the cost of normal stuff. But somebody will probably
Right.
hack it. But it is a nice looking machine and it's fully enclosed. Hi. Okay, let's go a little further. Oh, excuse me. Toner plastic. Never heard of them. Okay, now we're into... You see that? It's the mask.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Dashbone.
The guy's in bed now. Not what I was thinking he was going to show. Probably good. Okay, so here's another view from another end. Oh, look, there's a little doodler. You see that there?
Yeah.
3D doodler. So yeah, I want to get one of these things. Oh, I'm having a little technical problem. Hang on, Chris. So you know I'm doing this whole... Damn it. I'm doing this whole thing by myself and it's...
So the 3 doodler is the little pen that is like a hot end, and you load in a little stick of filament, and you can draw with plastic in 3D. It's kind of fun.
Well, I don't know if your image looks as good as what my image looks here, but you know the quality from this Logitech 920 has been pretty reasonable, and we got a nice wide angle. So hopefully you and the audience is getting a good opportunity to be here at CES with us in the 3D printer. Hi, Stephen.
PR person. I think I sent you some emails about this, right?
Yes. So how about giving us a little bit? We were live for about 2 hours and the batteries died on my little device, but I still have a backup, so I'd still like to do a little interview with you. I'm doing great. Are you familiar with Chris Kopak, my co-host?
Yes, actually.
He has one of these things.
He does use a Taz? That's great.
He
Wonderful.
swears by it. So how about giving me a kind of a rundown of what you got here? Here, go ahead and grab the
Actually,
mic.
would you mind if I grab somebody else to do this?
That's fine.
Spokesman for the company?
Okay. I'm sorry?
Would you like to come further into the booth?
Sure.
Or do you want to
Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, excuse me.
I just have Harris speak with you. He's just in the middle of the conversation.
Okay. Tell you what, how about I get over here?
This is better. You can see everything.
Yeah. So I'm in the LulzBot booth.
So yeah, no, we're really excited. The Mini, I can just tell you, he'll give you more.
Okay.
If you could do a quick interview, join us. This Mike?
How's it going?
Hi, Mike from All Things 3D.
Great.
And my co-host Chris, we just died literally about 2 minutes ago, but I've got a backup system, so I'll interview and I'll put it up later.
Let's do it. Yeah.
His co-host Chris has a Taz.
He swears by
awesome.
it.
Great.
He every time we got a weekly show, and he just says, "Man, you wouldn't believe what I just did this time," and then he keeps showing me that dual extruder, and I'm thinking, "Man, that's a boat."
Yeah.
So now I get to see it in person. Okay, let's go.
Do you want me to switch sides, or where do you want me to stand? Maybe
This
back
is good.
here?
Yeah, right there.
Right here?
Everything else, it's cool.
That's awesome.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so what do you want me to...
I just kind of talk about
just
your
like
line.
what we're doing?
Yep,
Just
exactly.
Kind of
Yeah.
Okay, great. Cool.
All right, we're rolling.
All set?
Yeah.
Okay, great. My name is Harris Kenny, and I work with Aleph Objects, makers of the LulzBot 3D printers, and we're here in our booth at International CES 2015. We're launching the LulzBot Mini desktop 3D printer here at the show, and we really cut our teeth in the prosumer market with the LulzBot Taz, used by Fortune 500 companies and research labs, and now we're introducing the Mini for everyone else. It's super easy to use, but it's still versatile, open source hardware and free software that everyone comes to expect from us. We're really excited about it. The reception's been really strong at the show. And yeah, we've got LulzBot Minis running on the shelves behind me, as well as on display in front.
So what's the price on these little babies here? Let's start with the Taz.
So the LulzBot Taz is available on LulzBot.com and through our resale partners for $2,200, just about. And like the Mini, it comes with a 1-year warranty, customer support, and is manufactured in Colorado.
That's a nice plus. Made in the U.S. or made in the Colorado U.S. A separate world. No, just kidding. So we got,
and then
we've
also got the
minis.
LulzBot minis running here. They're going to retail for $13.50. Up top we have a printer that's running and creating an object, and beneath us it's a printer's running the Start G-code. So it has auto bed leveling and auto nozzle cleaning, which really helps make it really easy to use.
So Chris was talking about, you've got a neat little material that you work with on your printers that he really swears by. What is it that's on the bed of your
On the print bed, so we actually have a laboratory grade borosilicate glass bed that's being used beneath it, and which is heated with silicon. And then above that we have a temperature called PEI, and the PEI really helps with adhesion. It's new for the Mini, and we're going to be rolling up to the LulzBot Taz as well.
Wow. So if I have another printer, can I get that material, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so anybody really that's in the 3D printing community, we invite you to check out how the LulzBot Mini works, check out the development files online, and join our forum. That material you can buy from McMaster-Carr in custom sizes. So if you're building a rep wrap at home, or some other type of printer, check it out. It's super versatile and really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think I tried to get some and you were out, or somebody was out, so it must be the material itself is out. I tried to get some and I guess they were out of
sold
stock.
out. Yeah. I think McMaster has kind of varying levels, but usually they're pretty good, they're pretty prompt. I'm sure they'll have it back in stock.
Okay, so again, the name of the company?
The name of the material is PEI.
PEI, and the company I can get it from?
And the supplier will be McMaster-Carr.
Master, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably going to be my next printer now. So.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're excited, and check it out.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks.
That was awesome. Thank
How about giving me a card, and I want to get an actual real interview with you guys?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. I know Chris would just he would cry with joy.
What's your co-host's shirt size? Like a large, XL, double X?
I think he's about a medium.
Medium.
We only have.
I think I may have a large, but I think it may shrink. So
Can I have you do me a favor? Can you cram this folder in the open pouch back there for me?
The big pouch on top?
There should be just an area that's open there.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And you can if it doesn't, just go ahead and fold it. Okay. Great.
Jam it in there. There you go. Excellent.
Excellent.
So here's some press materials on a thumb drive.
It's excellent.
Some high-res photos and a product one sheet.
Okay.
Here's my card. I wrote the name because I'm with an external. It just says so you know who it is. So,
Okay, great.
So please get in touch with me. Anything you need.
Excellent.
We're hooking up Taz owners and print owners that are stopping by the booth, so please give this to Chris.
Okay, put it in my pouch.
You want me to just put this in your bag?
Yes, please. There's a
Thank you
excellent.
for his business for me, please. And thanks for chatting with us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you guys got an excellent printer, and I guess word of mouth sometimes is better than lots of. Yeah, kind of interesting in what how they made it so ominous. No, I'm not shooting right now. Okay, well again, thank you.
All around exciting things are happening. Thanks.
Okay, hey, thanks.
Thank you so much
Bye.
for coming. Awesome. You have any questions?
Okay, we're going to keep going here. Let's see where we're at now. We're at Airwolf. Yeah, they've had some interesting printers. I looked at them in the past. Looks like we've got, it is Daniel. Let's see if we get a chance to talk to Daniel. Our tech is there. Yeah, so interesting. We have Artec over here, and it does look like I have one of the people that I did interview. So excellent. I may come back over there and talk to him. Okay. Okay, he's noticing.
Yes, so starting here, so we have a web service, website where you upload your designs, and then our software will prepare them for printing and send them straight to you. It is part of that, yeah. It just runs in the cloud, that is all confidential. Well, there are people that yeah. Right, they are, yeah. And then they can give you the files. How are you?
Hi Daniel, how are you?
Good.
So this is Daniel Aurora. We've had him on a couple of times, and he's showing off his AstroPrint, which I got just the software for it, but man, is it a super product, and I've just been getting the updates to it. Really like it a lot. Actually, probably too much. But yeah, why don't you kind of talk about your product? And you're in the Airwolf booth. Is that something new, or?
Yeah, so what's happening is Airwolf just launched their new HDR printer. And HDR has Wi-Fi capabilities actually using the AstroPrint platform. So this is why we're here. We're their software partner for the new printer. However, as you probably know, AstroPrint works with any Marlin-based printer.
It does.
And so what Airwolf has done is integrate our solution right into the printer, but you can also buy one of our boxes and retrofit any Marlin-based printer. And what this allows you to do is you connect the box to your printer, and now the box connects to your Wi-Fi, and it allows you to monitor your prints, to control your printer, and see how things are going with any web-enabled device.
Sounds excellent. Yeah. So, can you give me a little rundown on the Airwolves real quick too, or just should I talk to somebody else? Yeah, you know, the problem, I got feedback coming in my own ears, so I must be limiting my voice. Everybody say, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Would you like to talk to them?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll get you ready.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Would you like to learn something about multi-material printers?
Actually, I'm going to be talking with Eric here in a moment. Okay. Hi, Eric.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm Mike Balzer from All Things 3D, and
Mike.
I think I've tried to email you, but never had you on our show yet, and I like to do interviews, so maybe we can get you on a later time. But why don't you kind of tell us what you got at the show here, maybe about 5 minutes, and well, we'll just kind of talk about that. Big fan of the Airwolf, so go ahead.
Thank you. So we have a number of printers here. We have our high temperature HDX printer, which prints in over 20 materials. It actually is printing polycarbonate right now.
Wow, that's important. So this is your high. What is the upper end of that temperature? You said it's high.
315 C is the temperature that this machine is printing at right now. You can actually see it on the display screen.
That wasn't good. I'll take your word for it.
Sure. And so polycarbonate requires high temperature, but the benefit is polycarbonate is a very strong material, and it resists heat better than ABS. And as a matter of fact, the top of this extruder is printed with polycarbonate on an Airwolf HD machine. And you know, we're really.
I've got to move back a little bit to get the whole shot. Sorry.
We're really working on developing new materials and learning how and teaching other people how to print in new materials to expand desktop 3D printing to more useful applications. Our specialty is having printers that will make functional prototypes. Prototypes, gears, things like that you can actually use in real machines to test your concepts out, not just look at them. And so this machine here is printing polycarbonate. And then we have our newest printer, which is a little hard to get to right now. The black printer over here. So this is our latest printer, and it is the HDR. Now this is the latest and greatest that we have. It has an aluminum backbone for more rigidity, has a semi-sealed enclosure, and it has the capability of printing in not only two different high-temp materials, but printing support material on the second head. So if you take a look at this piston here, the primary material is ABS and the secondary material is PLA. And this is PLA that you can actually just buy off the shelf, and you can dissolve this in a sodium hydroxide mix. And that's what makes this really special here, is that we're getting parts that just a few months ago you'd have to spend $20,000 on a machine to get this type of quality.
At least, yeah.
Now for $4,600 you can print it on the HDR. One of the other things that makes the HDR very special is it's got full Wi-Fi setup. So Cameron is actually running this machine off that 8-inch tablet right there without any connection to the printer.
And you're using AstroPrint, if I remember correctly.
We are. We partner with AstroPrint. We love that interface. And it makes working with these printers so much easier. When you go in to print that part, there's only 3 steps. You import your part, you select the material you want, and then you just select the quality. Good, better, best.
Yep.
And then you press print.
Very, very neat.
Yeah.
So what's the price on it?
The price on this is $4,600.
$4,000, okay, but that's a dual extruder and neat software. And also it seems like a fully enclosed environment as well.
Yes, it's we call it semi-enclosed. The top is still open for access, but the rest of it is enclosed.
Okay. And then how much for your high temperature?
Well, this is a high temperature too.
Oh.
But the high temperature machine we looked at earlier, it's called the HDX, which is very popular with some of our high-tech clients. That is $3,500.
Okay. So this one actually is a little more expensive then. Okay.
This is because you have the dual extruder, and you can basically do anything that anything that you can imagine. You can print on this machine. All of what you see here can be printed on the machine.
Well, if you compare it to the, what is it, the CubeX or the Pro or whatever they call it for, I think it's $4,500 or $5,000. Looks like it competes well with it.
It is.
And plus, it looks like you can use whatever you want for filament.
You
a lot
can.
of people don't realize that. Yeah, you might get a good printer, but it's like the razor blade syndrome.
Right. We are open filament, and we do sell our own filament, which is guaranteed to work with the machine.
Okay.
And you can also select your own filament as long as it's approximately 2.85 millimeter. It'll work wonderfully in that machine.
Sounds great. Well, thank you very much for your time. You got a card so that I can hook up with you later and we can do a full interview and you can give me the whole background?
I sure do.
Okay. Great. And let me...
I just want to compliment you on the name.
Oh, that's
these guys.
That's me.
Oh, did you pick that up after... what are you guys working with?
Well, he's Airwolf, and I do a podcast / YouTube channel called All Things 3D.
After the death of All Things 3D, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now.
Longer than that?
Huh? About 1.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Well, I'm looking for my own card, but I've got too many things in my pocket. Hang on a second. There we go. Sorry about that.
All these unique cards. Okay. It was wonderful meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Yeah.
You got your hands full. So.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Hi, Gary. How are you? I thought I saw you earlier. Okay. Let me do a little bit of an interview with him, and then we can talk a little bit. Okay. Well, maybe not. Huh? You're doing very well, or? Oh, yeah. So how are the B9 creators going? Yeah. Well, and you come up with your new Pro version. So do you have a location here, or do you just... Okay. How about I just talk to you, and we'll do an impromptu interview, and we'll have the robotics behind us there. So I don't know if anybody has remembered, but we did an interview with Gary Dawson. He was also part of our roundtable. He runs a distribution company, right? You're a distributor for the B9 Creator. Is that correct?
That's correct. Well, for the first couple of years, I was the sole distributor for the B9 Creator, but we now have evolved with a distribution network, and we now have a vice president of sales and marketing working with the company. And as I said, it's rapidly evolving into the larger company that it deserves to be.
Sounds
a lot of new
good.
Things on the horizon in terms of new little system upgrades, software upgrades. We have a new VAT coming out in the very near future, and
I
lots of exciting things coming up.
Okay. So maybe I can get you back on the show, maybe in a round table, maybe a brief interview. We actually do a weekly podcast called 3D in Review now every week, and we have what we call our guest crasher. Would you like to come on and give us a little bit more, maybe next week or a week from now?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Maybe possibly the week after that. I have a busy week coming up, but I'd love to talk with you again. It'd be my pleasure.
Well, I'll send you an email.
Okay, very
well, thank
good.
you, Gary.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks for checking in.
I don't know if you saw this. We have a dress.
All right, so I think we're about wrapped it up. We are now in the robotics area of CES, so I'm not going to dwell there, but I think this is kind of cool here. It's a fully articulated arm, and it's pretty neat, So, okay, with that, I am going to, how funny, just kind of walk through here. It's Matterform. Hi, Mike Balzer.
I'm Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. I run all things 3D and plus 3D creators. I have one of those. I'm trying to think, who's the CEO?
Drew Cox.
Drew. Is he here today?
He actually went to take a break.
Okay.
He might be back any minute now, but who knows?
Yeah, how about you want to give me a little bit of a brief interview for all things 3D and kind of talk about your scanner?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll have to hold it pretty close to your mouth.
Microphone interview.
So I'm now in the Matter in Form, and the name has had many iterations. I've been following you for about a year. I think actually I had somebody on about 3 or 4 months ago. I think I did an interview and plus had you on part of my roundtable. One of your spokespeople. It was a female. I'm trying to think of her name. Very engrossing individual, but I can't think of her name now. But well, let's kind of tell us what you've got here and the type of product that you're making.
So what we have here is a consumer 3D scanner, and it scans anything that's 8 inches in diameter to 9 inches tall. It scans in color, and it's relatively high resolution at 250 micron detail. We sell for $650 retail price. Our price on Amazon is $579. You can also get it on our website for $599.
Go ahead and bring it up closer.
Oh, sorry.
A little bit closer.
Sure.
You almost have to swallow it because it takes out the noise. So, if I remember correctly, you guys are from Canada, is
That's
that correct?
right, Toronto, Canada.
Ah, there's Drew. Hi, Drew. I'll let him finish up.
Would you like us to swap out?
No, go ahead. So yes, you're from Canada, and one of the neat features about your scanner, other than it's pretty cool, is that you can close it.
That's right. So it's fairly
quite portable.
It's fairly portable, and it's light, so you can take it and close it up with one hand. Apparently, you can take it into your backpack if you're going out into the field, or store it on your bookshelf if you're not using it at the moment.
So, if I remember correctly, you've had some new updates.
Sorry, what's that?
You've had some new software updates as well?
That's right. We've had several iterations. We've had several iterations of our software, and each iteration has improved quality significantly. We've actually just released our Mac software, and that we've actually just released our Mac software, and we're going to be starting to have more releases in the future that further increase the quality of our scans and features of the scans that it produces.
I noticed you've got a tablet there. Have you added a new feature, or
that's actually our new product? It's an online 3D content sharing platform, and it's free, and it runs in your browser, whether it be on your tablet, on your mobile device. And what it enables you to do is you take your 3D model, whether it's a scan or it's a model that you've created in a CAD program, and you can then upload it and share it with other people. The nice thing about Cashew is that we take your model and we optimize it by simplifying the geometry so that it loads very quickly, it doesn't use a lot of data, it makes it practical to use on a mobile device. So for example, if we go back here and we go back here and load up a model that an artist, a visual effects artist, Academy Award-winning visual effects artist created for us, you can see that it's a fairly simple geometry. You get the general idea of what it looks like, but then we can switch to higher levels of detail, which take a little longer to load, but you have that option.
Really nice. So you can upload to the cloud and then view them on it. So you have a little card for this product? And,
That's right.
Okay. Well, great. I guess I'm going to have to get back and get them back on again to talk about it.
Another feature of this is that you can upload one file format and download any other file format.
And what are the other file formats?
So we currently support STL, PLY, OBJ, and Collada, and we can export to any of those same formats.
Very nice. Well, I'm going to have to give that a go when I get back to town.
What's that?
I'm going to have to give it a go.
Yes, we haven't launched this yet. We're launching this in 6 to 8 weeks. Right now, it's just unveiling it. I will have it ready then.
I'll go ahead and talk to him. Maybe I can get a promo and then have you guys back on as a guest crasher. Well, thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate your time.
Hi, I'm Marie. I work with
Hi, Marie.
So is this Dream Reader?
No, I'm all things 3D. I'm actually very. I can't even remember his name now. That's good of me. Andrew. Yeah. So we've talked before. But I want to get you back on and maybe get a demo of this because we do a weekly 3D in review, so I'd like to really look at this program. And I have like a 10-minute guest crasher where you come on and you kind of talk about it. So I'd like to get you back on for that.
Let me get you some food.
Okay.
Are you going to be wandering around today?
Huh? I'm sorry?
Are you going to be around today?
Actually, I'm going to be going to the other building. So just put it in my backpack and then I'll take it. Okay, actually I'm going to be in the LHCC. Thanks though. Go ahead and just stick it in there. Okay.
So let us know. We'll pay you whatever it is.
No, it's okay.
No, we're good. Hey, hi, how are you? I'm going to go ahead and email you and let's get you back on for that new cool piece of software you have.
Yeah.
Maybe a 10-minute part of our guest crashers on 3D in review and you can kind of talk about it. Plus, if you wanted to send me a beta so I can kind of review it and I'll talk about it next week if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll have something beta-ish. We just got it's actually all private right now. It's not even on the net. So once we push to the net, I'll send you something.
Sounds good. Okay.
Maybe in the next 2 weeks.
It's nice seeing you.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
Good to see you then. Sorry. No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
So, all right, so this is the Scanify. So this is a handheld device that we are selling. It's a scanner that scans like 180 degrees. And it's like having 2 cameras and 3 flashes. So in total, we are capturing 6 images in 0.1 second. So we are using a stereo and photometry, and we are doing combination of both. So with that, we just capture 6 images in 0.1 second. We transfer that information to the computer, and then the computer is doing the reconstruction of the scene. So it's taking about 20 seconds to do the reconstruction of the whole scene. So we are capturing like a mesh that is like 700,000 points, and then the density of the mesh is like 350 microns. So that's
pretty
quite
good.
dense. So that's only scanning 180 degrees. So if you want to scan the whole object, what you have to do is take a snapshot, then rotate the object a little bit, take another snapshot, rotate the object a little bit, and so on. And then we provide the software that is doing the combination for you.
Okay. And that software I talked to, I talked to Stuart yesterday in our interview. That software is going to be coming out in 2 or 3 months, correct? That's not available right now?
Yeah, well, at the moment we are already shipping the camera, but we are fulfilling our backups. But the software, all right. So the scanner will be reaching every person in after April. Yeah.
Okay. So how about scanning me while the camera is positioned, or maybe actually, there we go.
Yeah, sure.
No, actually, Megan, you're prettier than I am. Why don't you get scanned, and then I'll watch it.
Twist my arm and scan multiple times today. All right, so I'm gonna. Are you doing the actual scan of me?
Whatever. Yeah, let him scan
cool.
you.
Let me get over. Typically, we've been doing it here because it captures best here. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
And then you can have, if you want,
If you notice, I'm completely mobile here, so.
Do you want to consider taking a look at it from that direction? We can love that.
Oh, okay.
PR plug.
Ah, there's a. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So target.
Okay,
so
go
right,
ahead.
so the scanner is configured for see that it's not perfect, so we can refine that.
Okay.
Pressing this button, so start to reprocess all the data, and after a few seconds, and that's the final output. So.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. So that was very quick. What's the machine that you're working with?
It's just a normal laptop, so it's not quite software demanding. I don't know, it's an i7 probably.
Okay, well,
or an i5, but I think it's an i7. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it's $1,000 laptop then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuart was telling me too that your software is going to take advantage of Kudo cores or GPUs in the future as well.
Yeah. At the moment we are not using any of that, but yeah, that's something that you can easily do in GPU. So.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you very much, Leo. Hey, let me go ahead and shut myself off.
Hello, my name's Nima Shams. I'm Vice President at ODG. This is our head-worn product. It's a high-end tablet on your head. It has a multi-core processor inside, 3-axis gyro mag accelerometer. It's a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS. Anything your tablet can do, this device can do. It's full augmented reality see-through displays, 720p at 60 frames per second, giving you full immersive 3D experience, and it's all see-through.
Wow. So is it Android-based?
It is Android-based. This will launch with Lollipop. If you're an Android developer, you can easily develop on our system. The front shields are magnetic, they come out. If you notice that the displays are fully clear, you can see my eyes, yet you cannot see the content I'm seeing. The system's extremely mobile. Our device falls between Google Glass and Oculus Rift. It's very immersive, like Oculus. It's very mobile, like Google Glass. It's all hands-free. It has Bluetooth, so you can control the device on the top. You have Android buttons on the back. We also have a Bluetooth ring controller, and we have Bluetooth keyboards that works with the system.
Very neat.
This is CES 2015.
CES 2015. So how much?
This is will launch this year sub $1,000 MSRP. We have a current design called the R6 and the R6S, targeted more to government and industry. That's currently available.
Oh, okay. And the price on that?
That one is just shy of $5,000. But that is very robust. It's designed to work in very harsh environments. It's designed to work in dust, dirt, splash-proof, rain-proof. This is equivalent robustment to a high-end tablet.
Wow, pretty neat. So you said later this year. Can you give me more defined?
Sorry, unfortunately.
That's pretty cool. So obviously, I can't put it on my camera, but I'd like to take an opportunity.
Absolutely. So I'm turning it on right now.
So I assume that's a camera in the middle for
It is.
video.
It's a 5 megapixel autofocus camera, so you could think point of view shooting. Also very important for augmented reality. Extremely high frame rate, specifically designed to allow virtual and augmented reality markers, locations, objects to be recognized. Also, great camera. Just take video and pictures.
Yeah, that sounds neat. Could save me some time. So can I?
Sure, it's loading it right now.
Okay.
Turning it on.
You want to talk about what you're seeing, like in the glass?
Well, maybe I can describe it on my mic.
You probably do it better. Do you want me to hold this?
Sure. Actually, how about turning it on me?
Let me get rid of that
So I'm
wire.
gonna launch the UI video.
Okay. So am I framed in it?
No. If I tip you are. Do you want me to tip or?
How about
there, now you are.
Alright, so I'm putting them on my head right now. So you said this is 720p, right?
To each display.
Okay, so as I move my head, I can change content, is that correct?
No. Okay. Right now I put a looping movie for you. So go ahead and do you see the movie playing?
Uh-huh.
So it should just start. I'm going to remove your shields.
Okay.
Notice how see-through they are. Fully transparent. Same transparency as spectacle glasses.
So how do you use the menu system?
So the menu system is on, if you take your finger, there's a optical trackpad on top.
Oh.
There's buttons on the bottom, standard Android buttons, back and menu.
Okay.
And there's a power button. We also have a Bluetooth keyboard that's paired to the system. We also have an app that resides on your Android phone and your iOS, where it could take over your phone's touchscreen. But here's the ring controller. So you can slip this on your finger. There's an optical trackpad right here, Android menu back, and this also has an IMU inside, so you could actually do gesture control and interact with the device. Yep. But right now it's just on it's a demo mode.
And I have video in both eyes, correct?
Video in both eyes.
So we can stereoscope.
Absolutely, full 3D.
Now it should have had a accelerometer
and magnetometer.
So this would be used as something like the Samsung VR.
Absolutely. We could do immersive VR where you look around, but we never separate you from your environment.
Still read it pretty well.
Great.
Unless you want to separate.
Yeah, unless you want to be separated from the environment.
So is there a possibility of doing a full 30-minute interview at a later date, maybe in a month? And what would it take to get a beta or a test version to an evaluation?
You have to talk to this lady.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That is neat.
I don't think I realised I wasn't holding it straight. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, and you're still hearing me okay, right? This is the Samsung Galaxy. It looks like they got some Marvel characters here. Looks like they're giving away t-shirts. Yeah, actually printing things out here. Pretty interesting. It looks like the Avengers are supporting the Galaxy Note, or the Galaxy Note Edge. By the way, Chris, remember I told you I didn't, I had to figure a way to get a Note 4? Well, that's what we're shooting on right now. I was able to trade mine in at Verizon and pretty much suspend my other number to support my habit here. The Note 4 is a cool device, so now if I can get my hands on a Gear VR, I'll be set. But I see a Gear VR over in the corner here. Let's go on ahead and go over there.
Yeah, that is good. Hey, see your pen?
Oh, it's Captain America. Okay, you see them? They're actually testing some glasses over there. Can you see it? Oops, excuse me. Well, essentially this is the Samsung booth, and you know the Gear VR is a big thing. But I guess they've got an Avengers promotion or sponsor or something. If you notice, it's Marvel comic characters all over the place. They've got a big statue of Thor there. You see him? So pretty cool. So let's kind of take a look at it. So I've got a question for you. Are those glass optics or plastic?
There's glass and plastic.
How about the optics?
See on the inside, these are glass.
So they are glass?
These are.
That's what I wanted to hear. Great, thanks. So you heard that. So what's interesting is that the VR1 by Zeiss uses plastic lenses where these are actually glass. So kudos for them. Might be one of the reasons for the expense. But yeah, it looks like it's for real. Okay, so I'm going to head out this way. Like I said, you have to see my backpack. I have this huge backpack, plus I've got a backpack from the show itself, and I've got that, I look like one of those triple-decker buses in England right now. So if you are following us still, I'm now in the main, I guess, display booth, and we are, let's see, Hire, which I guess some people have heard out. They, I think, are a Chinese company, but they're starting to make a big play in the U.S. So it'll be very interesting to see what they have coming out.
What would it look like? Let's see. It looks pretty good. But how about if she's going under fluorescent light?
You guys trying to make out some girl?
This is just fucking
Gotcha. And you can just hit that whenever.
Yeah.
I'm your second-hand news. Second-hand news. I'm ready. I'm your second-hand news. Second-hand news. I'm your second-hand news. Second-hand news.
I initially.
Oh, you should. Yeah, pretty impressive. So, can you tell me a little bit about it? Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm rolling. No, go ahead. Go ahead and step in the shot.
This whole segment.
I've got a shotgun here, so let me get in front. Okay, go ahead.
So this whole segment in our big booth basically showcases 3 to 4 different technologies that kind of symbiotically work together, hand in hand, seamlessly. We start off with our Lumix cameras, where from top of the line with the GH4 all the way down to the LX100 shoots 4K video, 30 frames per second. Why would you shoot 4K video? Basically allows you to capture all the moments, you know, and not miss a single second. So for example, if you have a kid that's taking his first step, how impossible it would be to actually, you know, capture that moment. But if you shoot 4K video, in our product, in the cameras, you can actually single out the frame and go like, okay, you know what, this frame actually looks best, pull it out as a still and create that still picture. And the still picture is an 8 megapixel still with, that's a medium JPEG. And with regards to the hybrid side of things, we have a partnership with Flixel, the company that created this technology and an app that allows you to seamlessly blend still photography and video all in one, creating what you call a cinematograph. And you know, there's so many applications for it from the consumer side of things, but from the business side of things, you think about what you can do with your ad campaigns, your ad banners, your marketing campaigns, and it basically allows so much more engagement with the consumer. Just because everybody's so used to seeing still pictures, this little subtle difference to go like, whoa, what is that? And they keep interacting with it on and on and on. So applications is basically limitless. Is there any questions?
When is it available?
It's all available right now for retail. All the cameras are available for retail. The Flixel app is actually available on the Mac Store, Mac App Store, and on Flixel.com.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, we finally made it, and there they are, the Oculus Move. Wow, that's pretty big. With all the Oculus people. How fun. And there are lines. All kinds of lines. Well, let's venture down.
Plus they were VIP.
Who's Alex?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I can't be like.
Do you hear that station as well? Okay. Yeah, so have you ever had a virtual reality experience before? I've had that experience already. I'm not familiar. What video did you like most?
Okay, and use the focus dial to get it focused.
Probably like a gaming party at the very end.
I've been trying to get our exhibit departments to start looking at.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about your glasses? What makes them special?
Definitely. Okay, the company name is Immersion Brelia, and what we have is an option that can turn any smartphone that you have, iPhone 4, 5, 6, 6 Plus, and even all the Galaxy S4, S5, Note 3, Note 4, any cell phone, Android or iOS based, we can transform that into a virtual reality environment system, like you can see here. I will show you in a minute, and we accommodate a lot of population. We have adjustment for the focus and also for the interpupillar distance. So
you want to grab a pair of glasses?
Yeah, sure.
And then
there you go. So it's right here.
So that looks like a Note 4 in there, yes?
Yes, we have a Note 4, and then we also have a Galaxy S5. We have, correct.
So how can I get one for the Note 4?
It's adapted to any phone.
Oh, yes. Well, how can I get one now?
This is how you do it. You take the phone out, and then here we have some brackets where you can put the Note 4 or the Galaxy S5. You just exchange them.
Okay, so you have special adapters, or
yes? Do you have a set of brackets for the S5, please?
So let's say I had a phone that you haven't even put out yet. Are you going to put out a 3D printable file? So
exactly. You got it. Cool. Exactly. So we are providing the 3D printable files.
Excellent.
So you can. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it looks like there's not much plastic there either. So good.
Exactly. So this is the part. This is actually 3D printed. Okay. Thank you so much.
Are you all set?
I got it.
All right.
Thank you very much. So these parts are 3D printed, and you just exchange them over here. So going from a Note 4 to a Galaxy S5 is as easy as clipping these little tabs here and then putting your phone and closing the latch.
Very cool.
So this allows you to play and interact with any phone. We transform that any. There are other options in the market. They only work with one phone. We are the only option that provides full adjustment and the brackets and highly advanced optics, so you can adjust your
Let's talk about the optics.
Sure.
Now, I've looked at the Zeiss VR1, found out it has plastic lenses. Disappointing. Do you have an all-glass lens?
Yes, we do.
Excellent.
Yeah, we do. We believe that the clarity is very important, and also the way we're achieving our field of view is precisely by using high-quality lenses and glasses.
It's very important because I'm familiar with the color fringing.
Exactly.
And obviously, if you have glass lenses, I just found out that the Samsung Gear VR also has glass lenses.
Correct. That makes a big difference, definitely.
It does.
So, and besides the optics, the actual lenses, we have adjustments so your dioptrics can be...
We're getting some shadow, that's all.
Sure. So we also have the adjustment for the dioptrics, so you don't need to wear your glasses. You adjust your dioptrics here, and we accommodate most of the population not only because of the focus and the dioptrics, but because we can go for kids or adults, depending on the separation of the eyes. So you can adjust that parameter.
Pretty neat.
We have a controller that comes with it, so you can have a full experience of virtual reality immersive experience with this device. It's available now, only $89. We're selling it. Yes, and it's being shipped probably at the end of this month.
End of this month, okay.
Exactly.
So great, give me a card and hopefully we can get you back on as one of our guest scratchers. We do a weekly podcast / YouTube channel.
Excellent.
It's becoming pretty popular and we'd like to have you on and talk about it more.
Great.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. I really think that I spent $100 in haste and waste with the VR1.
Correct.
Sad to say, but with the plastic lenses, it just isn't the same quality. So you mind if I take a look at it?
Sure. You can have it.
Yeah, it's fairly light. So one of the concerns, is this a prototype, is the what do you want to call it, the foam here. What are you?
We're going to have very nice foam accommodating in between your face and the device, and it's actually a high-end foam used today for ski goggles. So it's resistant to moisture, it's very soft, comfortable. Yeah, it has a 3-layer of foam of different densities that allows you to have the most comfort in the face, but at the same time the support and covering all the light that comes around from you. So you get a very immersive experience.
I like that. So you have an accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Mexico. So is this a product from Mexico?
Well, I invented the product in Mexico, but I've been commercializing that in the United States.
Okay.
Our company has been in the United States for a long, long time.
What is the name of the company again?
Immersion.
Oh.
There you go.
Nice name.
Excellent.
Okay, so we finally made it here, and you're doing a few neat features. You have a new system here, right? And I got a sneak peek in it, and I use profanity for however, at the dinner room table, I can't say it on our show, but I'll just say it starts with an F. It ends with an awesome. So it was pretty neat. And what's sad, I had something to give to you, but somebody either took it or it fell off and didn't even give it back to me when I was doing all my interviews this morning. I had I don't know if you're familiar, a Stutzy VR Spective. It's like a VR headset made out of hard foam. I mounted my new Neodi mount on the front of it and put the structure sensor on it. And you can put the iPhone 6 on the side.
That's great.
And I was going to show you guys and say, here's your next step.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where it went,
I lost
so
it.
That sucks. Maybe you'll find it.
No, probably not. Luckily, it wasn't too expensive. I've got another one coming in.
Good.
And then I just talked to another VR group. You might want to talk to them. They're a little bit, let's see. They're right over there. $79.95. Nice. You can use different phones, including an iPhone 6.
Yeah.
Might want to invest in one of those. Nice little area there for a bar, like a Neodi mount.
That's awesome.
So hopefully I'll get one of those soon. So pretty cool.
Do some virtual reality scanning.
Well, not only that, but your product. So let's talk about it a little bit. What new things have you provided for the structure sensor?
So what we're showing here at the show is new use of the structure sensor. So people are pretty familiar with using it for capturing of objects in 3D. So scanning a person or scanning a room, potentially with our room capture app. But what is an interesting use that you normally don't think of is to use the sensor for positional tracking. So instead of just scanning an object for the purpose of having a model, what we're showing here is scanning a room in real time for the purpose of knowing where you are in that space. So we're using the iPad processor, we're using the camera on the iPad, and of course we're using the structure sensor all together to positionally track you. We also are rotationally tracking. So in this demo here, what you're actually able to do, there's nothing special about this room though. This is just any old room. You can actually do this in your living room, but we wanted to have a play space. So we came up with this fictional universe where we've discovered a time rift in a San Francisco backyard. You go into the San Francisco backyard and you use your structure sensor and your iPad to teleport 700 years into the future to try to figure out the source of the time rift, which threatens all life on Earth. And that's what you're doing here at our booth. You go in with your structure sensor, which is then positionally tracking you. The idea is that every step here in present day 2015 is a step forward in the year 2715.
Oh.
So you're actually able to move around this future facility. You can actually pick things up. You can drop them, you can throw things, you can walk around. It's a really fun experience, and we've had several hundred people now through the booth checking it out. And the cool thing also is we do have 3D
Can you see it, Chris? See it in the background there?
Yeah, you can see somebody walking.
Yeah, so he's literally walking, and if you look at the screen, it's like a space-age environment, like you said, a futuristic environment that
Yeah, you can just if you go there.
well, now we got somebody blocking my view.
It's $379 for the sensor.
But essentially, you move around, and it automatically maps your walls and things for you. So it looks like you're actually moving, and the objects in the room are showing up. So it's pretty neat. So as I was telling Jeff, their next step should be get a VR goggle set, use my Neoti mount, mount it to the top of it, put the iPhone 6 on the side, and then you've got not only a perfect VR experience, but the ability to traverse in it. And I'm really looking forward to getting the SDK for this thing. I don't know why I don't have it yet, but there must.
Don't worry.
That's what he always tells me.
Yeah. So eventually it does come. And so this new sample is going to be available in the SDK, and we're also going to launch it, fingers crossed, soon as an app on the App Store.
Very, very cool. So,
if you want, we can actually go in and try it on camera.
I've tried it before.
Okay.
No, I've got. You want to do it on camera? All right. We'll do it on camera.
I'll do it on camera.
Okay.
So you go in and watch the next guy.
Okay, sounds good. We're going in.
Did this press hustle.
What'd you do?
We did press hustle.
Nice
We
job.
tackled Tom's hardware editor-in-chief, and they sent the people over here, and they've done a full.
Oh yeah, she came through again actually. Whoever.
Hey Adam.
Hey.
How are
how
you?
doing?
We're
Good to
live.
see ya.
I got Chris on the other end.
So we.
If you don't mind, you can set your bag right over here.
Yeah. So we.
I'm sorry, we're a little.
Nice.
Okay, so can you see this?
He's watching a training video right now. So if you don't mind, can we watch you play? Okay. All right.
Let them know we're live, though.
We're watching right now, live.
Live.
So I want you to stand right here on the steps. And okay. So just lift up, point into the environment, and I'm going to unlock you here. Remember to use your thumbs, always the left and right thumb. Hold your device right. You got these buttons here and over here.
Now, Jeff, this only uses the iPad Air 2, correct?
Yes, this actually will work on the iPad Air 2 or also the iPad Air.
Okay.
If you look down, you just walk past a block. There's a block below you. There it is. If you press that button, you can hold down and grab. Press the grab button. Hold down and hold. Just pull it.
Okay, so do you see where the walls are, Chris?
Yeah, so go over there. You can drop it on this button.
Right. So notice as he's moving, the wall gets closer.
You got it. So now go to the right. And see that arrow?
Except you don't. Yeah, exactly.
So now if you move a little closer to the door.
Except the augmented reality is artificial instead of the other way around.
Now if you turn to your left, there's a gun right there, so you can actually walk up to it. Here, let's do something. Put your thumb down and back up. Just put your thumb down and then back up. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, let go. Now if you walk forward, you can actually get closer to that. So walk forward a little bit. Just literally walk. Now you can walk. There you go. Now point right at the gun, press the grab. Now you've got the gun, you can fire it. Okay, now he's switching to an augmented reality view, where he's seeing the world.
Very, very cool. Well, like I said, I got a sneak peek and I kept my mouth closed, but Yeah, it is beeping awesome, and love to see what we can do with it in the future.